Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. We have a very special guest on the line. Anything to plug before we get to him, my friend?
We can plug the coloring books.
Yeah. We have a coloring book with 50 plus pages of original art from Eric Pabone and our good friend Eddie Bass. And you can pick that up at tomanddan.com. It's under the merch section, and 100% of all the cash goes to the YBR Foundation. That's Yellow Brick Road, to help children with congenital heart defects, and it's going to kind of help us help get back the money that we lost because of COVID, because normally we do our fundraisers, but when you can't see people, you can't do fun stuff, and this will really help out. So just go to tomanddan.com under the merch section and look for the coloring book.
And Eddie and Eric donated their time and art to this.
Absolutely.
A vintage paper company helped us print these.
Yeah, Mark and his crew over there did a great job.
So, and all to help raise as much money as possible. So
indeed.
It's up for sale right now on tomanddan.com, and every order, we haven't announced this yet. It's embarrassing. Maybe I shouldn't say the Magnuts.
Well, don't say it with the guest on the line.
Okay, the Magnuts are embarrassing.
Let's ask our guest. On the line with us right now, Tony Roberts, Tony T. Roberts, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday, theimprovorlando.com to get your tickets. What's up, man? How are you?
How y'all doing, man?
Good. Tony, how many shows have you done since things have kind of opened back up? Obviously, we've been talking to comedians that have come through the Improv, and most of them live in California, and we start explaining to them how open Florida's been compared to what their lives have been. It blows our minds.
Some say reckless and crazy. We just use the term. We just go with open. We're just open.
Yeah. So when'd you start touring again, Tony?
Last October.
Wow. Okay. So backing up.
Yeah, because there's a lot of clubs in the South and on the East Coast that's really more loose than California. So it's not a lot of clubs.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know that some comedians started in October and last summer because like places like Florida and the South and, it was kind of all over the place and everybody was doing their own thing. Yeah. So how many shows, like you started in October, but I'm sure it was limited and there was like a limited amount of venues that were even, doing stand-up, right?
40%. 40% capacity. It was 1 show a night. It was everything was discounted. The comedians, we wanted to get out there so bad. Our agents explained to us like it ain't gonna be the same money for a minute, at least to the turn of the year.
Right.
Get back swing of things. So we just took it to stay warm, to stay working. Because when we can't go nowhere. So a lot of times when we first started the pandemic, the virtual shows was popping almost every week. I was doing 3 a night.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. Everybody wanted to just tune in. And it's hard to tell the jokes and you can't see nobody or hear the laughs. It was crazy. Yeah. It's like I was for a bigger show. I was like auditioning for myself.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And Tony, for a stand-up, like say you were an NBA player, right? And obviously when the pandemic hit, there was no games. They shut down the NBA, but you could still, I feel, get your reps in on your own personal practice court, your own personal gym. You got your trainers. You can, get real-time reps in, keep
you could probably work
game
on
shape.
Yeah, you can work on things that you are necessary in your world every single day.
And I know there's nothing like for basketball that really replicates like actual playing and game shape and being and
the energy
and that, but still it's close. But with the stand-up and doing stand-up, you need the crowd to keep game shape, right?
Well, you know what I learned to do without the crowd, because I did morning radio and I was the voice of San Francisco, the entire Bay, for like 2 years. And that taught me how to be funny without the crowd. So I just excelled when it came to the pandemic and working and doing the jokes. It was bananas. It was bananas. I loved it.
So that's interesting because you learned because in radio and like talk radio or whatever, you're just talking, especially the people that do it by themselves.
We know a couple of those guys, and sometimes I forget that that's sort of maybe why it didn't seem so weird for us during the pandemic, because we work without We just kind of do a thing, and then like there's and that has sometimes you come home and you're like, I don't even know what I did today because I didn't get anything back. Like it's better. I feel like sometimes at least when you have that comedy, you have that live audience. At least if you bombed, right? I'm just feeling like I bombed in my brain.
Yeah, you can go home and in radio, because like you said, you don't have no crowd, no response. You can think you're just the funniest man alive, and then you just sucking. You just the worst. You don't know it. At least it's better thing.
Yeah.
Tony, what do you think about basically where we're headed as far as the culture and the fact that we seemingly, and like how popular TikTok is getting and how like things are getting shorter and more diluted, and like people want things and faster, like rotation,
tiny increments,
and tiny increments and things. Like it seems like attention spans getting smaller and stuff. And like, do you feel like, because you've been doing it for so long, like the future of stand-up is going to be shorter? Do you think it's going to change? Do you think like everything has changed? Do you think the hour is going to become half an hour and that's going to be the new hour? Like, do you think that you need the hour to get a full experience? What do you think? Where's this going?
I believe that this pandemic showed everybody that people that really, really made a lot of money and really got big on the pandemic was like Netflix and everybody that streamed shows, because they were crowded with more subscribers than they ever had. So they realized you don't have to even go out. A lot of people are going to realize you don't even have to go out no more to have a good time. People want to get out. I'd rather be out. I'd rather go to the movies. I'd rather go to dinner. But a lot of people are so comfortable now. I'd rather go to work than stay at home. But a lot of people now are going to stay home and work it. They're going to want to stay home permanently. They're going to want to stay and stream shows instead of going out. And they're going to Grubhub and DoorDash, because a lot of people really don't want to go back out. And then just pandemic has proved you can live without going out now.
Yeah. I feel like there were some people that never liked going out to begin with and kind of were forced to by society. And like, basically, everybody's like, why are you staying at home? You're a weirdo, and then now pandemic is like, stay at home. And then I feel there's going to be a lot of people who are like, I'm never going back. Like now it's kind of acceptable, and people like are fine with me staying home. They're like, oh, he's playing it safe, but they're basically going to imprison themselves in their own, like, hey, I'm not gonna have any more human interaction.
We made it better for them too. Like now, Tony, what does your family think, and how did you handle that? With the family, is everybody totally cool with you going back out, or did you have to have a discussion, or is it like, hey, this is my job, you know what we signed up for?
They asked me, when you leaving again? Let me tell you, I got me and my wife's sister and her husband, my in-laws and their kids and my kids. It's 9 people in my house, and we had to get a bigger house. I call it a compound.
Wow.
So we got like rooms, we got 5 bathrooms. We live all together and we close. So during the pandemic, we had enough people in our family to play Family Feud and with a host. We played board. We had the kids doing virtual learning, and then each parent take turns teaching them stuff. I give them an acting class every day. It was crazy, man. So and I'm bringing the whole family down to Florida. We leaving, all of us, all 9 of us leaving. Soon I finish this, we're going out to Orlando. We'll be there the whole weekend. But my family, and we do it all. We got the pool outside. We've been running around kicking it.
Yeah, well, if you ever need a theme park guide, we got a guy, Sam.
Tony.
We got a guy for Tony that can run you around and show you all the best little tips and tricks if you need it.
Since the pandemic, have your whole family been to Florida?
No, just me and my kid, my wife, and my 3 kids and my wife. We've been there. We was in Miami about a month ago, and the pandemic wasn't even existing.
No,
it was like,
no.
Oh, well, listen.
Miami's
hold
wide
on.
open.
Here's the thing. I have my friends from Miami came up here, and it blew their minds how open we were. They were like, whoa, we're way more locked down. So it's all
Kind of
relative.
depends where you go.
It's
yeah.
all subjective.
No, Miami's tighter than us. Like Tony, I don't know if you've been here recently.
Not now, though.
Yeah. Right now, I walk around here, and people we're open, no mask, frolicking, running through the streets, happy.
Spitting in each other's mouths.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's all subjective of where you are. So it's like, people from California, they go to Miami, they're like, oh my God, this is open. And then my Miami friends come here and they're like, wow, this is way more open. Like I'm sure if you go to some places in Texas or outside of our city, and then it's literally 2018 again. It's 100%. You can't even tell there's a pandemic. Well, Tony, again, we're telling everybody, go get your tickets. 2 shows tonight.
2 shows Saturday, 1 show on Sunday. TheImprovOrlando.com is how you get your tickets. Man, thanks so much, and hopefully we'll get you in here so we can have a regular discussion.
Yeah, some things you can't do virtually. We got to open up the strip clubs. Got to come back. They got to be back.
Oh, they're open here.
Oh, wow. Well, you might want to leave the kids at the hotel and come see old Tom and Dan because we got some spots.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fellas.
All right, man. We'll see you
Tony.
soon. Take care. That is Tony Roberts on a weird disconnected Zoom call.
Yeah. Right off.
You know what's odd is because also last week we were supposed to have Kevin Smith, but I wasn't here, so the show went to hell. But the celebrities you would think would have better internet. Right?
Well, he's got 9 people in his house. They're pulling on that. They're pulling on that.
Just because, like,
he's got his kids. They're got
the best.
His wife's watching Invincible. His kids playing. He's on Twitch beating us. He's beating our numbers by 15,000. His kids playing Fortnite. Then you got
how is our connection better?
Samantha,
is my question.
Listen,
and we don't even pay for the big dog internet. You want to know why? True story. Because Big Daddy Plants over here won't let me get at the time it was 300, and he made me set up for 150.
Oh my God!
I know. I got 300 at my house, and that's not even the fastest.
Oh, by the 300. I didn't tell you. I said buy the best.
Giving you permission.
No, you did not tell me to buy the best.
Well, when was it? Years ago?
I want the 3. Yeah, it was when we first started here.
Well, first started.
Yes.
That was different. We were poor then.
I wanted the big dog internet.
Get the 300.
Couldn't afford to pay me.
And I was like, the
then.
$300's $80 a month. The other's $40. You're like, go for the 40.
Oh, we pay $250 a month or something. I don't even know what we pay.
Well, that's because I put all the videos I order, the softcore, I put it on this account.
There's bills that show up. What the hell is that?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Don't look through the bills. What did I tell you about
Samantha,
Yes.
I am off.
Oh, no. I thought he was going to confess something to
It
you.
seems
No.
like it's getting real serious.
Samantha got a tongue ring, dude. You know that?
Did you know that?
I
Turned 35, had a freak out,
Yeah,
got a tongue ring.
She got a tongue ring.
But
Vibrating tongue ring.
If you did get a tongue ring, why would Butler
Because he's a chopper,
Yeah,
Tom.
you can't stop him.
Did you
That's
write-
why I cracked up laughing.
Did you write that
I
down?
did
Or
write
we
it
just
down.
talking about that now? Butler. Butler. Today's a weird day.
It is.
Because Sam's happy because, can we talk about that?
Sure.
Sam is extra happy today.
You know
I'm
why?
My God, what's happening?
She got her Disney passes back, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
We're
Yeah.
open. That's her version of we're open,
baby.
We're open, baby. There you go. For you,
Thank you.
Sam. But it is that wasn't a bad Mickey Mouse. That I didn't know I could do a pretty decent Mickey Mouse. I'm getting the hell out of here. But it's funny because Tom and I will talk about like, oh man, I don't think I've ever seen her happy. She got her passes back. She's happy.
Yeah.
Hold on. You guys act like I'm mad every day.
No, you're not mad. You're
I'm-
paranoid every day.
Well, I'm still
Yeah.
paranoid.
Is
by
that
the way.
happy? That's not happy.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain anger that comes with paranoia, right? Because how can
It's more of like a fear. It's not anger.
Who is that man walking across the street in front of our studio, and why is he looking in the windows?
how can you not be mad that they're all coming to get you? I'd be mad.
You know what? You're right. You know what? You're right.
I'd be mad if they're all coming to get me.
Let me clarify.
Why are they coming to get me?
We know you're not mad, but there is like a buzzing paranoia around you at all times. And you don't have that today. It's not here. Your orb, the buzzing paranoia, completely gone. She came in making jokes, cracking on us, busting on Butler.
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
hair looks really great, like you poofed
Thank
it
you.
up. Yeah, I'm just saying, you're having a red letter day because you got your Disney passes back.
And I was chit-chatting with Butler this morning, and he's like, I never noticed you had a tongue ring before. And I just started laughing because it was not a tongue ring. It was, in fact, a Tic Tac.
How did he notice that?
He's
Like,
looking
He's looking in my mouth.
Yeah, why?
That guy's
Gross.
a sicko. He's
He
looking
is a sicko.
He looks in Sam's mouth. And
He's a pervert.
And he fingers his ear holes. He does that. He puts his fingers in his ear holes and he fingers his ear holes while he's staring directly into Sam's mouth. He's a freaking. He should be
You
arrested.
guys need to do something about this.
We
I'm getting
all-
really
I
uncomfortable.
We
try to do
only
something.
hire sexual predators.
Apparently.
Stop. Who notices a Tic Tac?
Who looks in
in
people's
someone's-
mouths?
someone's mouth?
I've looked in my wife's mouth. I put stuff in there, never looked in it. Never looked at it.
Who knows?
Right.
Butler, get in here.
Get it.
You got to get in here and explain to yourself, you sicko.
I didn't even notice you colored your hair until Daniel mentioned it. Like, I had no idea.
What, Butler colored his hair?
No, I don't know.
Jet black.
I don't even
oh my
know.
God, you look like Roger Waters.
You do have a little bit of a
You're
gable.
watery. You're a little watery today.
Yeah.
You're a little Roger Waters. Go eat a dog turd.
So how do you notice
Sorry,
that
I turned your mic off.
Samantha has a Tic Tac in her mouth?
Well, I was just sitting there talking to her, and I noticed that she had something.
How wide was my mouth for you to even notice that?
It doesn't take much for him.
I haven't opened it that
He
wide
got-
because I'm still sore from
Yeah,
my wisdom
he
teeth
can look into
extraction.
any hole quickly. It's his superpower.
It's a curse. I mean, I'm a hyper observant. I notice weird things.
He does notice weird things.
Yeah. Why?
But then he also has to comment on
Yes,
it. Like, he
yeah,
can't
that's the
not
problem.
Hey,
not
Dan,
comment.
I didn't help but notice that your right tooth is a little more yellow than your left. What the hell are you looking at?
Rude.
Look at.
But then it spurred the discussion of like, what if at 35 I had a freak out and decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get my tongue pierced.
No, then he went full honesty. No, you skipped over the biggest part. Then he went full honesty to Sam, and he goes, she's like, I wouldn't have a tongue ring. Why do you think I have a tongue ring? And he was like, I was just going to look at it. I was going to run in there and then talk S about it. You're
right.
I was going to go in there and talk S about it with the boys.
He
with the
did
boys.
absolutely admit that.
And he gave it a little hurrah.
That's-
He gave
He
it like,
snitched on himself.
That's self-chopping.
Yes,
he
he self-chopped
self-chopped.
I can't help myself.
Like,
He needs to get an intervention here.
We tried to do one last week.
And nothing worked out.
I missed it.
Just ramped it up.
Yeah, you just liked it. Your dad's ordering a custom butler for his living room.
That's-
I saw that in the chat room. Your brother's like, excuse me, can we get more of those inflatable butlers for the chat room?
They like I feel like admitting to a crime you didn't commit is a little like it's self-chopping, right? Like,
no, it's
like
the-
that.
it's
People
that
do
kid-
that.
It's
right?
that kid and
People
making,
like yeah.
making a murderer. It's that dum-dum.
Well, I mean, that is also, on the police for doing that. But
Yeah.
We're the police, Tom.
Yeah. But I feel like
So are we saying that Butler is on the our team spectrum?
Oh, man.
well, I'm not saying that.
What are you
but
saying?
I'm saying that there's some Venn diagram. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of circles.
That like choppers admit to things they did and didn't do.
They admit to everything.
Yeah. They just like admitting to things, which is a
The
weird
chat
trait.
room loves him. They said, we'll take him. The
All
chat
right,
room
all
wants
right.
to
They're
put you on
adding
the
him
team.
to our team.
You want to be on the team?
Man, I'm either the boss or I'm not. Well,
Okay, Mike B is
Somehow-
the boss. I made Mike B the boss.
Oh, did you?
I
Okay.
made him the boss at the land
I
cruise.
thought it was Remy.
No,
Yeah,
Remy is a general.
He's the emperor.
Yeah.
Remy is a general. I talked to Remy. I'm doing Remy's podcast this afternoon. Remy's Round Table. Shout out to that show.
Let's talk about this for a second.
You can talk about anything you want. Your show.
Okay, yeah. Because this is a weird thing, and
I don't want to hurt. I have been rescheduling an appearance on Remy's show for the entire pandemic.
But you've done it.
13 months.
It's the most podcast. Like it's the most.
It's the only podcast I've been on 3 times. That's a true story.
Yeah,
You've done Remy's show more than my show.
True story.
Yeah,
I've done
yeah.
Remy's show more than Scotch and Good Conversation. I've done Remy's show more than BYOCB. No
Literally
longer a
any
podcast.
other podcast except for this one.
And
Yep.
I feel like you. Every other month, you tell me like, "Hey, at 3 p.m."
No,
we're
yeah.
doing it."
No, but
I'm
then I
like,
don't do
"Oh,
it.
again."
No, but then I don't do it.
I know
You
miss
bail.
you bail.
I bail and I make up lies.
Yeah, but it's odd that you
Yeah.
agree to do it.
Yeah, it is.
And you've
Right,
agreed
right.
to do it so many times.
And I lie to him.
Yeah.
And I don't like lying. I'm not a liar, but
because
like,
he'd believe you if you just said like, "Hey, I can't do this."
I
you know.
fell into that finally. I just
You know,
said, I
you did
can't
it
do
3
this anymore.
But you're doing it today.
but you're doing it again.
Well,
Yeah.
I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to lie
Okay.
or whether I'm going to say, I can't do this today.
You got to self-chop, bro.
I don't know.
They're
teach
funny. I've been on
I
them. They're
wanna do
they're
it.
super funny interviews, and then I want to use them for the show, but somehow like we never use them.
Well, let's do it, and you know what I'll do? I'll record this one because normally I don't record it on my end. It's just kind of,
because I
It's
think
his show,
I think
yeah.
none of
It's
them
his
have
show.
even come out. By the way,
no, he's on Spotify.
well, no one's like I never have I ever gotten an email or anybody. We promoted it.
He sends me the links, and he's like, "Hey, new show it."
But like no BDMs have been like, hey, listen to that because they're legitimately funny because
They are
we're-
funny.
We are the only ones that listen to his show.
You know what? He cares more
But they're
for
not-
podcasting than a lot of podcasters I know.
That's true. He
yeah.
is dedicated.
He's dedicated,
Yeah.
man. And I feel bad that's why I'm doing it. I felt really bad that I've lied and bailed, and I mean like little white lies, like, you know, I had something to do, but I made it a little larger than it should have been. You know, like I'm going to dinner with Andrea's dad, and I'm just like, oh, got family in town. Not really true. Could have done both. You know what I mean?
And let me preface by saying it's funny because of what happens when we're on there. I have no idea. And then we listen to Remy's like regular show, and it's funny for a different reason. You'll see.
Well, here, for instance, I'll just give you, not to talk about other people's podcasts, but why I might find his podcast entertaining. He shows up at Universal Studios to do a live broadcast with his co-host, Chris, and Chris's ticket doesn't work that day, so they can't do it. See, that's genius. It's genius.
Yeah.
It's exactly like what we would do.
He self-chopped.
No, but it's exactly like what we would do, right? It's very much our style.
I don't know.
Things falling apart and getting messed up.
Yeah. The falling apart is funny.
Had Tony T. Roberts' phone call been a little more choppier, Remy's round table.
Oh, that's
No difference. No difference.
Back to that. Samantha, you mentioned it's odd that, you know, some people in the entertainment industry haven't, like, you know, after a year of the pandemic, adopted like a microphone set up with some sort of like easy way to do.
Well, he doesn't do a
Zoom. No, but I'm saying I would imagine you do a lot of interviews
or be guests on podcasts or whatever.
Or guests on podcasts.
And then you got your top tier guys that don't even care about it, but they still have setups. To your point, Dave Chappelle has this little mobile setup, and he was on the Tonight Show, I guess, last night, and they just plop like this mic, like a Shure SM7B, expensive ass mic, with his logo on it, and plug it in, and he can go live from anywhere with a light and everything. He's got like a rig.
Well, Dave Chappelle's got $100 million.
Yes.
So,
and a guy that's just his podcast guy.
But I don't have. I have 1,000 Dogecoin.
Do you really?
Look at him saying it correctly.
Dude, you got to hold up. That's because it got serious.
And it's worth nothing now because
no.
Elon screwed you on SNL.
This is all going to come back. We're not accepting Bitcoin. It'll be fine.
I'm poor white trash, and I could afford a nice mic, laptop, and a rig, and a camera. All would probably cost.
You were pointing at Travis.
No,
but
I'm
a man.
Like
Dan, a nice butler.
Tell me how much that would cost.
Oh, if you want the good get, for $1,000, I could get you like top tier.
Yeah, and then you could probably borrow some stuff and like
as we're talking about this, I am thinking, you do this for a living and you don't have this set up.
Yeah, Butler said that yesterday.
I mean, I did because I had to, quarantine when my husband got COVID, and I was able to podcast with you guys from home. But you, as the host, don't even.
Butler
have that
said
set
that
up.
the other day when Tom
I took
came
the setup home and then I put it in my garage.
Currently,
but I never all rusted now.
No, it's not. The French Witch has an excellent podcast that you can check out on Spotify.
What's it called?
It's called The Witch is Back.
But here's the thing: if I did have to do any Zoom calling or anything, like, which by the way we've done all through the studio because we never had to do it from home.
Yeah.
But if I did have to, I would get the setup and I would just pay someone that knew how to do it to come over and hook it up, and then I would have
great.
that.
I don't think
me and Butler are going to be showing up at Tom's house later today.
I don't think the Zoom setup.
Benjamin, I'll do this.
You can do them well. You can do them well, and you can limp through. I really believe you can, but I don't think it's good. Like I even see it on like bigger shows. You can see I can see them having to go in and edit, and it looks a little wonky.
We talk to our listeners who do bits for us that have great audio and great video. The other day when we were talking to, there's been a plethora of people that are not celebrities and not entertainers. Really, they have their own they're amateur podcasters.
Brendan O'Connor.
Brendan O'Connor.
His setup's legit.
It's a professional
he does
mic.
broadcasting though.
Even Bustecker plugs in his headphones. Even when he goes outside, he'll use a set of headphones so he'll keep the that weird interference and it wanting to noise cancel. He'll use that. Well, but he's a pro too. I'm naming all pros. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
No, but it's not really because Bustecker is a storyteller for Orange County.
But
popo.
Yeah, he does videos that have audio, and he has to make it sound and
He's
look
an AV
good.
nerd.
So,
Yes.
yes, he's a professional.
He's a popo audio.
It's true. Yes,
He's popo.
that's true. But why aren't top tier entertainers have the same?
I don't know.
I was
setup.
I was
That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
It's like Buster could do it.
Worst
Yeah.
person, best setup, Jeff Howe.
Yeah. Jeff Howe.
I'm joking. Jeff's a wonderful man. Hey, his
But
music's
he-
on Spotify now. You can go check it out. I think Burned Out Cadillac just appeared today. I
Are you
feel.
serious?
And you can buy it and stuff. Yeah.
Jeff Howe's an old man that has still has an AOL email address.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
he
know?
does.
But he also has a good setup.
He does, yeah.
I help
he's
him with
also
his setup.
he's also a tech guy and he's an engineer, so he knows about that kind of stuff.
It's
but
not
but
that
still,
hard.
you could still there's a lot. It's not like a mystery that no one can do. There's for sure there's tons of people in every single community that you could pay that knows how to do this, that for $100 would set you up and then teach you how to do it, and then you're like, all right, now I can do professional.
It makes me think they just don't care, right?
That's weird though, right? How could they not? It's their
It's their
business.
business. I don't know.
But every
Is
time
it just
Samantha,
lazy?
Have we
every
ever
time I
added
say
up-
that, and this is nothing against Tony. This has nothing to do with that.
No. This he could be one of a million. Have we ever added up the number of times he yells? How do they do that? Or why do they?
I know.
Tell me why.
No, it's just kind of scary because like
I can't accept.
We don't know, Tom.
I can't accept the answer of there's just no reason, or there's just laziness, or like they just
you know
don't
how
care.
many things
I'm
that
like,
I
how-
could ask about you of why does he do this?
I know.
So
yeah, but you could say what he will. Normally, okay.
I was gonna see how long you were gonna go.
No, okay. So I can explain everything I do wrong.
I was
Just
catching that out of
ask
the corner
me.
of my eye. I'm
I
like,
promise
oh my
you.
God, do I need to move? Because this EMF's going to kill people today.
I promise you, I have an explanation for every stupid thing I do.
don't know.
Everything I've thought about, and like this
He
is
does
why.
think about a lot of stuff.
It's
a
it's
lot of
like
thinking in there.
It's like, why haven't
I'm
you
the opposite.
cleaned my why is my desk so disorganized? Right, you need to organize your desk. Right.
Right.
Oh, I was going to give you doesn't look that bad.
My explanation is that I've prioritized other things more important that day that I needed to do,
Sure.
and I did those things instead of clean my desk because those other things.
This sounds like my excuse I gave my mom as a kid. Like, to clean my room.
Well, he's a bit.
But I did that.
what had happened was
Like
I mean, I meant to do it. but-
organizing all these promotions and things for business and show things and stuff were more important than organizing my desk. I felt like organizing my desk wasn't going to help the business that day.
Today. What about yesterday, the day before, the
But
day
it,
before?
but it is your business, and it does help to be organized.
It does, but it has, because there's piles of paperwork everywhere on my desk. It hasn't been enough of a downfall, or I haven't attributed.
Well, then maybe that's their reason. Hasn't been enough of a downfall to not have a great
That's
internet
probably
connection.
yeah. You're probably right.
Maybe, but
Because I could see him saying like, "Look, the
Like
promotion's good."
It's literally that easy of an answer, right? They don't have much of a backlash. They probably don't do a ton of interviews over Zoom. Not that big a deal. Just like
Okay,
how
like-
you don't think it's that big a deal.
Also, your
that
desk triggers
you are
my
in
anxiety,
shambles.
so I have to clean your desk. It gets to a certain point where
I just don't look
have
in the
to
corner
tidy it
anymore.
up.
Butler will clean it. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't.
Butler rearranged the whole entire office. It looks great now.
It's kind of like how.
Thank you for doing that, by the way. It
You're
looks
welcome.
great.
It's rationalizing your alcoholism. You know?
That's what I do.
Yeah.
what I do.
It's like these a few White Claw a night have not caused.
I got the blood work to prove it.
Yeah.
I got the blood work to prove it.
My liver enzymes are fine,
Fine.
and my kids.
Yeah. If you
good,
look at
think-
a chart of my health from
Why-
I mean,
0,
eventually they'll figure out I'm an alcoholic, but right now they don't know.
if you
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at a chart of my health from 0 to 44, as I sit at 44, I am the
That's fine.
18th most healthy I've been.
Okay.
All that other time was I was a kid. I was an adolescent. I was still growing.
Yeah, and the
I'll take 18.
the cost benefit of it.
Sure.
You're like it helps reduce.
Plus, a lot of
make
that
you feel good.
Yeah. I'm in my power years now.
Anyway, yeah. I know I ask these questions all the time, but it does seemingly it just feels like such an easy thing to do to get a mic and
It seems easy to clean your desk, but
Okay, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to do it, and this is important. And if you all would like for me to cut it out, I can do it.
Go ahead.
probably.
And this is, again, nothing against our guest. He's a fine man.
Okay.
But his website has expired,
Oh no.
And I went to GoDaddy and I could have bought it for $18 and I was gonna. And then gift it to him and say, yo, dude. Tighten
Nah,
up.
bro, that's rude.
That would have been rude, and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, and I didn't say it.
That
but
would have
now
been a
I'm saying
chopper
it.
move.
Yeah, I almost shot.
I understand.
I almost shot, but I wanted to
I understand
save
that
it.
because we've let things lapse because we're so busy, and that could be a mistake.
I wanted to save it and give it to him, and I was like, at first, you get excited with an idea, and you're like, this will be great. He'll love me forever. And I was like, that's a bad move.
Yeah.
That's a bad move.
See,
that is the non-chopper
Tactical
mentality.
head
You
bite
gotta
at sight now.
take a beat and think about it.
So I'm not a chopper. Well, then I started getting paranoid, and I'm like, well, what if he doesn't want it, and what if it's...
Then you're turning into me.
What if he's trying to sell it?
but
But then I looked out the window. I'm like, who are those people out there? What are they doing?
Coming to get me.
there's been a bunch of things that we've done that make no sense. We railed about it, like forgetting to pay KC every week.
Did you guys pay him last
We
week
did.
when I wasn't
I'm
here?
good at it now. I'm good. Well, I'm
But-
good at it for like the next 6 weeks. It's just kind of like my hypochondria. It comes and goes.
Although, again, that wasn't going to hinder our business in any way unless he
What do you
quit.
mean?
Well, if he
no,
quit-
no, we knew, but I did the math. He was never going to
Well,
quit.
He ain't never going to
Yeah,
quit.
yeah,
Dare
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Casey's a fine man.
He's with
he
us
is
forever.
a fine man, but he's also likes
Yeah.
being connected with us, and we can
Yeah.
crap all over him like an abused wife, and he'll always stay with us. He'll never go away.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
terrible.
We
I
know
can slap
that.
his cheeks right now and spit in his eyes, and he'd say, I love you, Dad. I'd be
This
like,
is
I'm
a
just
toxic
kidding.
relationship.
I'm like, I'm just kidding. I just do this stuff to make you tougher.
But
you know
yeah,
that.
but
You
we know.
that.
Yeah.
And then I gave you $175 instead. And he'll be like, oh, thank you, sir. I'm totally kidding.
True. I know it's true.
We're having
I know it's 100% true.
How do you know it's true?
I know.
Casey's
I know it's
he's
true.
bigger than me. He just pushed me
No,
down.
He'll never push it down.
Well, he's too sweet.
Yeah,
He's too
yeah.
sweet.
He's too
He's
nice.
too
He's too
sweet.
nice of a
He
person.
might be the sweetest person that
Yes.
works within. We should bring him in.
Yeah, let's do a chatting with the masters.
No,
with Casey.
I think we've done it. We used to put him on the show.
The
and
difference between
when I don't even remember. that.
Casey is like young Tony.
No, Tony insults me straight up.
I
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
That's a horrible idea.
I laughed
What
so
you're
hard
doing is
yesterday.
so
Tony told Tom that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. Straight up.
I like that.
Straight up.
I like that because I totally.
And by the way, I also
I was
thought
good.
that when you brought that up last week about a marketing idea, I also thought that exact same thought, but I did not say that to you.
Well,
because
tell me. I don't care. I literally, I'm like, tell me if it's dumb. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Got no feelings. You cannot hurt my feelings. Nothing will
Do
ever.
not buy a Skywriter. It's dumb.
All right, fine, that's fine. I threw that out there in a brainstorming meeting to myself. When I talk out loud and no one's listening, that's my brainstorm meeting. I have to talk through it.
Think tank.
Yeah. Skywriter, I don't know. I'm stuck in the 90s.
You got to get out of the 90s.
Skyrider, Taser.
Although the 90s
Monster
are
truck.
coming back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's all
Look at
coming
Buffer, look up Skywriter.
But don't do that. No, don't
So
do
what?
it.
Let
A
me-
big BDM smokes.
Smokestacks.
That lasts 5 seconds, like Tony said.
Yeah, but people
no,
are like, look
dumb.
at that, and they take pictures. It's the
No one's
social
taking
media.
pictures. No one's even gonna know what it
They don't
is.
see it.
No one's doing
Tony
it.
doesn't
No
even
one
listen to the
wants
show.
it. No
Tony
one
thinks
sees
that
it.
this show is like a legitimate show. That idea is on brand. Tony only hates that idea because Tony still thinks he's working for like a legitimate, good podcast radio show. You know what I mean? Like
No,
doesn't
but he
even
did like
listen.
the
He
play-
doesn't like the Skyrider. He doesn't like Magnuts.
He liked the plain
Does he
banner
like
idea. He
Magnuts?
liked the banner. I was like, banner.
Yeah, you know why he likes the banner? Because he can design it and put some clip art on it.
And he lives by the beach now, so he wants to
Yeah.
go out and look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
there it
Okay.
is. Hey, it's coming. Oh, it's got. Oh, the writing's back.
When are we gonna have our BDM event at Tony's Tiki Bar?
We're not. I'm sure. If anybody has an iPad that they no longer need, I need an iPad for Tony because he needs it for his. I think it's called Beach Bum Berries Tiki recipe book, and I'm trying to find him one. And the one that was my dead mom's. I was going to give him my dead mom's iPad. I was going to do a bit.
No, come on.
I was going to do a bit with you guys where I can't do it now because it won't run on my mom's iPad. Half the bits I write, you guys never see. All the parody songs that I've shelved. I wrote a song last week, and you know this is true, about my dead mom, about selling her house and using the money to buy $18,000 jet skis, and I shelved it because it's too real. It sounds like a real country song. It doesn't even sound funny. So
people like that.
No,
Just put it out there.
So he hit me up. Tony hits me up. He's like, "I need do you have an extra iPad or something that maybe I can use for this Beach Bum Berries Cheeky recipe app?" And my dead mom's iPad won't work. It's too old. So I was going to give him that one, and then
So
I was going to
haven't-
write this joke about how now my mom is the ghost of the tiki bar, and there's a whole thing, and I could do a character. I use ghost voices and stuff.
Hold on, what does he need an iPad for?
It's a
Like-
recipe book, but it's on an iPad where you can swipe through to make all the beach drinks.
Oh, so he wants to set that up in his
Yeah,
bar.
and I was going to help him. I was going to give him my mom's iPad, but it's too old. It won't work.
Couldn't just access it through his phone or something?
He doesn't. He's an Android dude.
Yeah,
He doesn't have any.
He wants
Apple
a
stuff.
digital recipe book.
I don't blame him. I would want
I mean,
that too.
we
Get a
have access
Nook.
to the internet.
Yeah.
Just Google recipes.
No, he wants Beach Bum Berry's Tiki Recipe app, and I'm gonna get him in that.
well,
He
just,
works hard for us.
well, we're gonna give him a
I'm
$700
buying it.
iPad.
I bought him
for
the iPad.
one recipe
I
book?
bought him the iPad Pro, and it's $2,800.
Wow.
And I
Just to
bought
put
him the Apple Pencil with pop engraved in it.
just to put a recipe book at his tiki bar.
I was trying to help him out.
So
And
he
then I
could-
was gonna write a bit about how, don't be looking through the book. That's my mom's iPad. Don't look on there, Tony.
Do you think?
A lot of nudes. Like, I had a lot of jokes.
I want to imagine Tony sitting at his tiki bar, and then at 10 o'clock p.m. rolls around, and then he gets.
You think he's awake at 10 p.m.?
he starts-
No way.
He plays closing time,
Yes.
and then he slowly rolls down the shade.
All right, guys.
Over the
Time to shut it down.
the big calves, big muscle
He's
calves.
wiping down the bar.
Yeah.
I don't know if I wonder if I can play this.
Tony, you should get some rubber Chex Mix because the regular
Rubber?
because it's like fruit. Because the regular Chex Mix it just goes bad.
You
No one's eating it.
Rubber check. Rubber checks mixes.
Just so it stays there. Just not to dust it off.
I gotta go home. I got people coming to the team. I gotta go home and dust my Chex Mix.
You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
God, it's been sitting out there. I gotta rinse it off. The dust got in the grooves. I got dust in the grooves. Oh God.
We should give
The Finch has been stealing my rubber pretzels.
a prize away, and you get to visit Tony's Tiki Bar,
Yes.
and then you and your wife, and then Tony's behind the bar, and make his 2 Mai Tais.
Yeah.
And you sit there,
It sounds fun as hell, man.
and then he plays closing time. You have to leave.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
We got time for a couple of voicemails. I already pulled them up.
We gotta go in like a couple minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Play one.
We got one in us. You have time anxiety like I used to.
Well, we
with-
also have a guest
yeah.
waiting for us.
Oh, are
so-
they already in there?
Probably. We booked him for 11.
Oh, who is it?
I forgot the John. We can play a voicemail.
All right, let's do
Okay, voicemail. Let's go with. Let's go with this one here.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. I don't think I've ever seen a photo of either of your dads, so it'd be cool if you posted a photo in the BDM group or something.
How dare you? Their dads are dead.
They are, yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
I think
Both of our dads are kind of little guys. I thought we put that in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dad
if
was
people
like
know that.
5'8", right? 5'9"?
He was 5'6".
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You're joking.
No.
My dad was 5'6".
Man,
Interesting.
That's nuts.
My dad was like 6.
And my grandfather was 5'2", and I'm built just exactly like my dad's dad, not my dad. My dad was always taller than me. My dad and his twin brother are 5'6" on the nut.
that's funny.
My mom was 5'7", and my dad loved that.
I
Just
may
like I
have,
love
like,
a taller lady. It's weird, man. All that
Yeah,
stuff's in the
3 photos of my dad.
In the
he
blood.
hated taking pictures.
That's
a lot of dads do.
Are they
My dad
from-
loved taking pictures. He was a clown. You know, like I had to he's like me. You jump in the picture.
Yeah.
A little bit of a chopper.
Most of the
When it
photos
came to
I
the
have
photos.
are from when he was younger, like before I was born.
Okay.
That his sisters gave me.
I love the
There might be
picture-
one. I might have one photo of him when I was alive.
I love the picture of you where you have the mullet.
That was a lot of those. Because
Yeah.
I had a mullet. as a
I
child.
love that's the hair I want.
Yeah, no teeth,
With
no
me-
front teeth.
with me growing my-
Kool-Aid mustache, mullet.
I'm
That
gonna
was
do the
me.
mullet. I'm
no
gonna let
shoes,
I'm gonna let this go.
boy clothes.
And I want to have like
Tennessee waterfall.
Yeah, I want to have like a
Do it.
little back
Yeah.
hair.
Mullets are in.
I got to prove. I even convinced Maisie. I even convinced Maisie through bribery.
I was gonna get a shag mullet like Miley Cyrus, but my husband said no to that.
Yeah. Hard to pull that off if you're not a celebrity. I feel.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
I figured those out because there's been a couple times where I've wanted like a celebrity haircut. And then you get it, and if you're dressed like a celebrity and you pretend like you feel like a celebrity, it works. But if you're at Target getting, like Tresemme hair products, or, you look like a weirdo. Because you're dressed down. You need to almost always... The reason Lenny Kravitz can have like dreads or an afro or whatever is that he always dresses like Lenny Kravitz.
He's always in
He
fancy.
never wears
He's
and
also
one.
gorgeous.
And
He can do
is
anything
gorgeous.
with his hair.
But he never wears and ones and slides and like
Yeah,
Who Farted shirt or something. He's
He's
a
always
rock
on
star.
brand.
yeah, he's always on brand, and that's what happens with people's haircuts. If like there are people around here that are like performers. Like I think we're gonna talk to her next week. Like there's certain people like Blue Star. You look at people like that are like they're just almost always on in how they look. And we're if you're gonna have a really unique and cool haircut, I think you have to pay attention to the rest of your accoutrement.
Speaking of pictures from back in the day, you know how if you see a picture, you could tell it's from the 80s? Like the 80s, like for whatever reason, and maybe it even has to do with like the fact that the photograph itself has aged,
Right.
20 years or whatever. But anybody who posts a picture, it's like, oh, that's from the 80s. You could tell the time stamp on it. Do they have a filter on Instagram that's like 80s?
You kind of, yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
Not
kind of.
vintage,
Vintage,
but I'm saying vintage is different
Yeah,
than 80s. Like
there are
80s,
companies that make
Okay.
one that's very 80s. You know what I like that they do is in all my parents' pictures.
and there's
are this way.
90s too. There's
Yeah.
you could tell 90s is a big one too. I have a lot of pictures of like high school that you could tell 90s.
All my parents' pictures had something that I really like, and it's kind of popular now in that everything is like all the edges of the photos are rounded,
Yep. Yeah.
and the
That's 70s.
Yeah. I
well,
think it
like
is,
late
yeah.
70s, early
Yeah.
80s, yeah, and like all the pictures were like rounded, and there is something when I see that I go,
Why didn't they stick with that?
I like it. It's a
Yeah.
fit and finish. Like it makes the picture seem.
Then you don't have those sharp, pointy corners.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
it's for putting it in your little books and stuff like that, your photo albums.
Yeah,
to make them
I-
look nice.
I like the
cropped and-
scalloping
Should
on
we
it,
bring
like-
in family photo albums tomorrow for the show?
Yeah, I have mine. I have them now. I can bring.
All
I
mine,
got,
I gotta
all mine
look
are
for
in
'em.
Virginia.
I got some
Yeah.
funny ones in
I have
there.
some hilarious ones in Virginia.
I don't know if I may be just a grumpy old curmudgeon, but I don't know if anybody. I feel like your family pictures only you care. It's like wedding
Yeah, yeah.
photos. Stuff
Here's-
like people
here's
are like,
how you do
all
it.
right, that's your family. Who cares?
No, here's
Yeah,
how you do
right.
it. No, here's how you do it. Because those pictures, the only reason you would ever keep those pictures are for the stories. And you use those books to generate more
Ooh,
stories.
A lot of
which
tragic
generates
stories in my photo books.
So you got to pick weird ones that have things, maybe possibly stories you've never told on the air before. So
Yeah,
it's doable.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna like hold
Not
up
every
it,
picture's a
and
winner.
here's my uncle, and here's
yeah.
You gotta like
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta
Right,
cherry
yeah.
pick the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't talk to my family really. They called me last week and I said, yeah, I'll call you every week, and that was like 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
That's what everybody does. So that's fine.
It was KC actually. I was like, I will never pay you.
Bye bye.
It is another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. The fish, I got to say it. The fish are healthier than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And I attribute this to you.
To me?
Yeah, to
I
you.
do not.
I didn't do anything.
Well, you've been keeping up on the water. Sometimes
I attribute it to Top Shelf Aquatics that
Yeah,
actually take care
yeah.
of the tank.
Probably Sean and his apprentice at Top Shelf Aquatics for
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
care of the tank. But let's digress to a guest, sir.
Yep, we got we've talked to this gentleman before, and I really do think it's a cool thing, especially in a day and age where I think society's realizing going to a regular university is kind of the 90s way to do things, and tons of people with so much debt it's become a problem.
It didn't help a lot of my friends.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think so. I'm glad that programs like this are opening up, across the country.
Neither of us used our degrees from UCF. I would have much rather gone to this particular school to learn podcasting.
So we have John on from the El Camino School of Music Repair and Technology. How's it going, John?
Very good. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh,
Yeah, no
man.
problem.
Anytime. It's really good to see you. How's things been, man? How you faring out there?
Rough year and a half. We've been out here before, but as you know, we opened in October of 2019, so 5 months before the world changed on us. We obviously had to retool and adapt, but I'm still sitting here. The lights are still on, and we're still forging ahead better than ever. So, again, happy to be here. Happy to be promoting.
That's
awesome, man. And listen, good job with that. I know that it was
we
a
believe
little
in what
hairy
you
there
guys
for
are
a while,
doing there. Yeah, we know how scary it was. It was funny because I didn't know you were booked, and I reached out to Sam. I go, "Hey, how's El Camino doing? We haven't heard from those cats in a minute." And she's like, "I think they're doing great. I got them booked." So
awesome. And so
we even had Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer here a few weeks ago to do a PR tour of the school. So every little bit helps.
Awesome.
Yeah,
but we found out he'll do anything if he just
Yeah,
has to.
that's true.
Yeah, he
That
recorded a
are the-
message and
Yeah.
we just read a teleprompter.
That's true.
And I'm like, he just did it. I can't believe it.
You never know. Yeah.
Like, he
I
didn't
just
even
hand
know.
him on my paper. I'm like, say this, and he's like, for shizzle, my nizzle. No.
Don't say that, buddy.
He'll go anywhere you ask him to. Like, oh my God, it's easy.
He's a party animal.
So sorry.
Everybody's buddy.
So John, tell us about if you enroll into into this session coming up in June. Like, what are some of the courses that you could take? What are some of the time expectations of
Sure.
how long does it take? Like, tell us about it again.
So El Camino School of Music, Repair, and Technology, we have a plethora of different things at the school. We do everything from music lessons to music therapy for special needs children, and we also have trade courses, and that's really what I'm here talking about today. We do have a lot of courses throughout the year, 2-day courses, 1 and 2-day courses, where you would build a guitar, build an amplifier, things like that. But the real thing we're here promoting and we're getting geared up for is our summer guitar technician program. It is a 12-week program, and it is geared for, like you guys said earlier, kids that maybe are not college bound, or maybe they're musicians or they're never going to be their big rock star, so they want to get more on the technical side. So this is a guitar technician program. We teach you everything about the building, repair, and maintenance of guitars, amplifiers, pedals, cables, anything that they could need to know to become a full-time tech. And we do also help with job placement. We limit all of our classes to 6 people. We have master luthiers and instructors that teach these courses throughout the 12 weeks, and we do help them with job placement to find their way. Luckily for us now, tours look like they're coming back. So we created this program to be really for tour support. But during the last year or so, when tours were on hiatus, we forged some relationships with guitar manufacturers, one of which being Dean Guitars, which is located down in Tampa.
Nice.
So we try to continue to forge new relationships to make sure that, not everybody's tour bound or has that in them. So we also have locally based places that they can find job placement as well.
John, I'm curious, when the pandemic first happened, did you think to yourself at all, like, oh my God, what if concerts don't come back? Or what if this changes everything and we don't have as much live music and shows don't really come back? Did you think that at all? Because the reality is it's seemingly people are dying to get back to live shows. It's already happening. I've seen live shows that are.
Have you guys, out of curiosity, gone to purchase tickets lately for things that you would normally be popular, but it's crazy.
It's insane,
because it's limited again, right? But all the good tickets are being are frothing at the mouth to get out there.
And people are like, I got my vaccine. I'm going to go see a live show.
But don't froth, because that could be problematic.
And there's nothing that. And it turns out and I thought similar when it first happened. I was like, are these things going to come back as fast as we think?
Yeah, were you thinking that?
Well, as a new business owner that has everything sunk into the place, that's obviously on my mind constantly. When we opened a school to be specifically focused on training touring guitar techs, and that was the main focus of this course, obviously that was a huge thing. Again, luckily for us, and obviously you all know that I'm a musician, so my band's gigs dried up as well. So we've all had to kind of figure out how to retool. The neat thing is, though, that what were people doing while they were sitting on their butts at home? They were buying guitars. Guitar sales have been up over the last year more than really ever before. So, even when the tour thing, and that was a huge reality check of, oh gosh, what are we going to do now? We started reaching out to other companies. And like I said, you reach out to Dean and a lot of these companies, and they can't keep up with demand of the guitars, and they need more help on that realm more than ever before. So for us, it's keeping things in under the guise of music and just trying to figure out how to retool and fit into whatever the new paradigm is that we're all living in, while still creating a great curriculum and experience for those that take our courses.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, you brought up a good point. It's like no one saw, like, you're like, oh my God, shows. And you're like, we can't keep guitars on the shelf. Like, more people are buying guitars than ever. And you're like, oh yeah, people are stuck at home and they're thinking,
I'll learn guitar.
I've always wanted to learn guitar. What am I going to do with my time? And with the live shows, it does feel like no matter what happens, we're all human beings, and human beings like that live performance and like live performance with other human beings around. Like there's no really substitute for that. And you could watch Zoom and you could watch it on your TV and whatever, and then it doesn't give you the same serotonin release or whatever. You know, like it just there's no substitute.
It doesn't hit you the same way.
And so
we try to do some of that. We try to do some of the live streaming, not only with the band but also with the school. And but I agree, performing, the first few times we got out in front of a live audience, get back in the swing of things, it was amazing. And some places we played were very stiff, and other places were like the Wild West. And I'm not naming names, but it was. But we realize as musicians that if people want to come up and give us a hug or express what our performance or what our school or any of these things meant to them, it's very hard to create these static distances between them. We want to be embraced by that, and we want people to have a good time. So if a consequence of that is that I have to deal with COVID, or we had to deal with some of that stuff, that was just a price we were willing to pay, because I can't lose the human interaction. That means too much. And even though it's great being on here with you guys today, being in studio and having this all in person, it's something I hope we all get back to.
Yeah, no, we will.
I'm with you on that, man.
You could have been here today, actually. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean,
me and Daniel are both vaccinated.
If you want to come here and fart in my mouth, I'm down.
But it does seem like
I'm sorry, Sam.
There were certain things during the pandemic that everybody questioned if they were going to, like cruise ships and stuff. Like there was a time I was just texting our buddy Tony Rage Munjet.
Why do you do that?
That he told me he invested into the cruise stocks when they plummeted or whatever, and then I was like, ooh, like I didn't tell him that, but I was like, I don't know. But of course they came back. There's no substitute for that vacation, and that's
a value.
And for that value,
I'm not taking your advice on anything that has anything to do with stocks or anything.
or presidential election.
You've been saying terrestrial radio is going away forever.
We were joking that most of the buzzwords, the things that we created the school to be, one-on-one, experiential learning, hands-on. We were joking the other day that every one of those became kind of not the buzzwords. The buzzwords were contactless, socially distanced, that type of stuff. But we still believe that one-on-one or being in a small classroom, being able to work and learn and ask questions in real time, not through a Zoom screen, and being able to really put your hands on things is really the way to create the best experiences and the way to help the best learning. You can learn anything that we have to offer. You can go on YouTube and we can figure out how to do anything that exists. Being a chef, a guitar tech, anything else in between. But being there in person, I just don't think that there's anything that's going to make up for that. I'm glad that the world looks like it's coming back in some regard.
Yeah, no, 100%. Speaking of like the technical part of guitar tech, right? So you got your pickups. And this is how much I know about guitars, but I know those little black boxes underneath the strings are pickups, right? An electric guitar, right? Yeah. Then you got your knobbies. And then those knobbies, one are for
one's
like
tone and one's
tone.
volume.
Yeah.
You might want to go to the El Camino school and learn a little bit.
Well, you could take the 12-week course. Yeah. Starts June 1st
and then
really learn your.
Isn't your son playing guitar now?
Oh yeah.
Well, he's got an acoustic guitar. But
why did you look down on that? Did you see how he did that, John? Did you see it? He's got an acoustic guitar. I love acoustic guitar. Very hard to play.
And he won't. I try to teach him. He's like,
you don't know how to play acoustic guitar.
Well, you don't look as cool as John.
I can play "Smells Like Teen Spirit" and "Free Falling." Yes, I can.
So he's like, ching, 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 ching,
yes, I can.
Free Falling.
I can play "Free Falling," and I can play Primus on bass. Jerry's a race car driver.
I really think that's all you need to get up there to make money, though. I mean, that's what the people really want.
But so when you're actually, can you? actually teach someone to fix the pickups, or are those so? Because okay, I was talking to my wife about this the other day.
I want to build a guitar.
No. So her mom came over, and then she saw we had a cast iron pot, and we hadn't oiled it. All right, this is going somewhere. I promise.
Very sorry, John.
I'm sorry, John. I have a point to all this.
Okay, the cast iron pot. Welcome to the tale of the cast iron pot, written by Thomas Chisholm Van.
And then she oiled it, and then put it aside, and she's like, "You haven't oiled this in a while. Could tell it's dry or whatever."
What are we talking about?
And so she comes from a different time where, like, you had a cast iron, like, pot or pan or whatever. You had it for 40 years. Like, you just kept oiling it.
I have my family's cast iron. That's
what, do you just toss them every year?
No,
What's going on over
years.
at the Van household?
Society's living in a throwaway, everything is disposable.
Not
you
me,
just buy
buddy.
a new one. No, but that's how they're making it. They make garbage and then it breaks and you throw away and then you buy a new one.
You buy quality.
So
don't
back
buy
to
the
fixing
garbage.
pickups.
So back to fixing pickups. Have they become so inexpensive that it's cheaper just to buy a brand new one and put it in there than fix the actual pickup? Like, if
That's
they
a decent question, because I remember that you could go with different styles of pickups too, and depending on where you went there would be your price point.
TVs have become so inexpensive that there's no TV repair stores anymore. They're just like, go buy a new one.
Yeah.
It's more expensive to repair this 8-year-old flat screen than it is to,
So pickups, John, what do we do with those?
Well, I completely agree. I mentioned exactly what Tom said about the TV repairman. I use that example all the time. I guess luckily, most of the things that we deal with here, we deal with tube amplifiers, we deal with guitars, we deal with pedals. It's still soldering, and most of the things can be repaired. We even have a pickup winding component. So we have Jason from Single Tone Pickups comes in and teaches you how to wind your own pickups that you can drop into a guitar. And so you're not going to be a master of any one craft in the course of the 12 weeks, but you get a really great overview on things. But guitars, I mean, if you loved that guitar, or if it was worth money, or you just wanted to not throw it in a landfill, these are things that you can continue to repair. Most of the things that we see that are really not are cost prohibitive to repair are microphones, PA systems, speakers, a lot of modern amps that are more designed like computers than they are, pieces of Americana and things like that. So that stuff, unfortunately, ends its way in the landfill. But a lot of the other stuff can be repaired. And, if you invest in like a local band, we have a partnership with Central Florida Speaker Repair. If you're in a band and you have a PA system, and you put a couple grand into it and you get drunk and spill beer in it, sometimes it's cheaper to get it repaired, and depending on what's wrong with it, sometimes it's unfortunately cheaper to throw it away and go get the other one, or hopefully you got the pro coverage or whatever it is, and you're getting that. But when it comes to guitars, you can break a headstock off. You can pretty much do anything to a guitar, and it can be repaired and brought back to its life. We just even sold the other day. We just opened up a consignment showroom here at the school, so we're helping do buying and selling of and helping people buy and sell really unique instruments. And I sold a Gibson ES-125 from 1954 the other day, and it still had life in it, and it was able to had some wear and tear, as anybody would from that era, but it was still a playable instrument. It was still something that people sought after, and it still had its value. So that's really what we want to do is keep landfills empty and keep musicians with instruments in their hands.
No, 100%. I love the compare component to everything rather than the buy a new one. I hate that.
Especially with instruments. I don't know, John, if you feel this way, but there's
it's like an art piece with a memory.
And
like
then
it's
there's
yours.
memories,
yeah.
and those memories, I mean, I think this way, but memories are energy, and that energy came from that, guitar or that particular. Like, I have a drum set that I will probably never get rid of, or at least I'll keep a couple pieces from, just because it means something to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even it's not even good. Like,
yes.
there are professional musicians that would look at it and be like, well, I mean, it's playable. You get you by, but it's certainly not quality, but it does mean something to me.
But with drums, can you make them like, okay, say you have the bass, like
The shells and make
like-
your own drums?
like-
Yeah. I
like-
know guys that have done it.
like a real estate or a house flipper would be like, oh, this house has good bones or it's got a good structure, and I could deal with because you could gut it out and then make it a modern house because whatever, it's the structure is sound. Is that the same thing with drums? Like if you have drums, could you put new heads on them and make them better,
For
or is it like
Yeah, I think so.
the actual shape of
Well,
them?
and we even have a 2-day course that's called the Drum Discovery Workshop, and it's not part of this, but we do incorporate some drum tech things as well. But it's exactly, we try to give people experiences to show them what different drums and things could sound like. One of our instructors said he used to work at Sam Ash, and a guy bought like a $2,500 drum kit, and a few months later he was coming to return it, and he was like, I don't really like the sound. I guess I need to buy another one. And he was like, do you know that by changing the tuning and the drum heads and a lot of these other things, just switching out your snare drum, very simple things you can do to change your sound. So yeah, we always try to pass knowledge along. Obviously we have to keep the lights on here, but for us, it's never about leading people astray. It's about deepening people's understanding with their instruments and empowering them. We even have classes where we teach you how to set up your own instrument, because we don't want you to always have to rely on us or a repair house or going to Sam Asher Guitar Center or wherever. You can do this stuff yourself, and much of it is not that hard. You just need to know the right way to do it. And but about 75 to 80% of the repairs that we get in on a daily basis at the school, because we do guitar and instrument repair as well, about 70 to 80% of those are just things that through proper care and maintenance of it could have been avoided. But people neglect these things, or they don't know the right way, and that's why they come in and it's all cracked and broken, because if you just would have oiled it or taken care of it in a proper way, you could have prolonged the life or saved yourself a lot of money on the repair side,
John, one last question for you. So what's the cheapest standard guitar, like if you go to a like a Guitar Center or whatever, and you bought the most economic electric guitar, that one, and then the most expensive off the shelf guitar obviously is going to sound better, but what are those two guitars? And then I got a question after that. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're asking me to drop names or brands or things like that, but I will say there is a certain quality difference between the $100 guitar and the $3,500 guitar. But a lot of what I learned is that, sound, there is kind of a price point there that the more expensive guitar, especially on acoustic side, the $5,000 Taylor doesn't really sound any better than the $1,000 Taylor. You're just getting what they call more appointments. You're getting more bells and whistles. Maybe you're getting, baby seal tears, inlay or something that. So you're spending more for this cosmetic stuff, but it really doesn't help the playability. But wood and quality and the way it's built obviously has a great effect. But everybody has to start somewhere, and we have a lot of musicians, people starting lessons. You don't start off on a Gibson Les Paul. You start off on something that is, a few $100 guitar, but there's plenty of relatively inexpensive guitars that are a great starter point. And then when you get into the multi-$1,000 guitars, you really have to know what you're doing, because some don't hold up their value. Others, again, you're paying for looks. It's just like buying a fancy car. If you have something under the engine, that's worth it. But if you're just paying for the paint job, and you're putting it on an old PT Cruiser, you're probably going to, not get your money back there. So there is a quality, but a lot of times, you get what you pay for. Other times it's just the glitz and the glam that go along with it, and they want to charge you more for it.
Gotcha. I understand now. I didn't really know how the guitar industry worked, and
your two main acoustic brands would be what, Martin and Taylor?
Yeah, and for instance, Dean Guitar is a perfect example that anytime you get something made in the USA, because we're a USA dealer now for Dean.
Oh, nice.
When you make something in the USA, obviously you're going to pay more for it. And some of these guitars that that are the $3,500 or $5,000 guitar, they take a team of people to almost 6 to 8 months to make. So the craftsmanship that goes in that is not going to be the same as something that you get shipped overseas and dropped in your hand. But again, I've still put a lot of $500 and $800 guitars. One of our 2-day building classes is $500 for 2 days to come in and build a guitar. And I say anybody can go in and buy a $500 guitar, but to have the experience along with it, to be able to walk away with a guitar, that makes all the difference in the world. But any musician will tell you that's worth their salt, that you can't always go for the looks. You have to go for what it sounds like, because when you're on stage, if it looks great but it sounds like crap, that's going to bite you in the butt down the road. So always go for the sound quality. And if you want to put a sticker on it or have it, make it cool along the way, that's great. But, never sacrifice the quality over the cosmetic or the look for it.
Gotcha. I just wondered if you could take a cheapo guitar and put the components of a really expensive guitar, like all the best pickups and the strings.
Oh, for like
and
an
everything.
electric.
Yeah, for electric. And then
That's a good question. Yeah, you could do that. Like, you could take the neck and a body that's kind of and you could beef it up a little bit, couldn't you?
Sure, and a lot of people, like you said earlier about the bones of the drum. I know a lot of bass players, for instance, that play a Fender Squier bass, but like that, those are the bones they start with. It's an inexpensive, the bones are very inexpensive, but it's a quality. And then, like you said, you switch out the pickups, you switch out some of the tuners, so that kind of stuff. If you feel or you have a personal attachment to something that you think is super cool, you can always modify it and make it much better than what you started with. And nobody will know, they'll go, wow, that $100 guitar sounds like it's $1,000. Well, it's because you put the time and effort and the money investment back into it.
Awesome. Well, John, thanks so much for, doing what you do and having this program available. I think it's important for any community to have like an option like this for people that want to learn this stuff, because
it's exciting because our kids are getting of age where they could, maybe they'll pop down there.
Yeah.
They're getting to we keep doing this long enough. You keep staying there long enough. We'll get one of our kids in there. Actually learning some stuff, man.
Yep. Again, the summer program starts June 1st, El Camino School of Music Repair.
It's a 12-week guitar technician program. You should definitely check it out. And I've actually had some buddies of mine hit me up that aren't necessarily wanting to go and do like road work. They just want to be better at knowing the components and kind of
they want to teach themselves.
Well, yeah, they want to know, like John was saying, how to diagnose their own issues before they become a bigger problem. And this would be a nice way to do that. ElCaminoSchool.com. Check them out. Thanks for your time, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Always a pleasure, fellas. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for everything.
See you, John.
Good. That was cool.
That was cool. He, I was just thinking, I always talk about like you can learn anything off YouTube nowadays, because you could just search how to do anything and there's some sort of instruction, but there's no substitute from having someone teach you face to face,
hands-on
and
experience,
you being able to ask questions, because I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and like I'll pause.
There might be like one little step where you're like, well, what about this? You can't ask.
Yeah.
Funny,
like
man.
being able to ask
right.
someone, man, is way better, because I've learned a fair amount through YouTube, but you're missing a lot.
You nailed it. I am so glad that I was able to take one-on-one drum lessons with an actual percussion professor. He was playing with the Orlando Philharmonic when they still had here in town. He was the timpani and the snare drum guy, right?
Yeah.
And being able to sit in his like performance office and then have him show me and then go do that with nobody looking at me. It wasn't band rehearsal. I didn't have my buddies there. No timers. Like just a nice, calm learning experience. And I love it. I absolutely loved those days, man. I'd get done with school and be so stoked to be able to go and learn something.
I can learn more in 10 minutes from asking my own questions from a professional.
It takes you 10 minutes to ask a question.
Then I can for like hour of YouTube watching. Like it just because I need to ask the questions to make it make sense to me.
You're the captain now.
Make it make sense.
No, I'm with you. I'm the same way. It's like I'd rather talk to the person because like all this stuff I'm having to dig through the video. I already know all this. There's just one
it's a
particular
waste of
thing I
damn
need.
time. Yes, yeah.
But that's why I like. Have you seen lately on the self-help videos the really good guys that are doing the like how to do videos? They'll go through and tag the questions. And then you can.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
Nice.
Yeah.
No.
And then you can. So they're all the questions are on the timeline, right? And every highlight of the question you're going to ask is up there, and you click on that, and that's where it starts playing.
They must have gotten a lot of complaints. Like, I can't watch this whole thing just to figure out where the screw goes at the end.
It's for you. Like, you're in the garage, you're fixing the dirt bike, and then you're like, I'm not on carburetors. I'm not. Yeah. And you.
Yeah, but it's few and far between. Like some
everybody
people are doing.
Your big dogs do it. The Ruckus guy does it. The There's a deaf guy that is he's like the top tier ruckus mechanic.
Okay, yeah.
And he does YouTube videos. He's like a beach guy, and he's awesome at it. So I had to go in there and change the oil, and I got to a part where it was like how to clean your oil tank or check for metal shavings, and I could just go right to it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and the more popular the hobby, they're going to be better content about it.
Yeah, like if you're changing the battery in a TV remote, probably not going to have it. Probably not going to have it.
All right, we'll be right back with more Corporate Time with Tom and Dan.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. I was pontificating during the break about how I can't listen to Eminem anymore because it's too staccato. And then Sam said I don't listen to rap anymore because I'm an old man and it hurt my feelings. And then you bought the Kamikaze album.
Yeah.
What made you stop there and not buy his latest album?
Were you offended?
No, I'm not offended by anything.
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
Why'd
you buy it? Would you listen to it twice?
No, it comes on every single time
your Bluetooth in your truck.
Just turn on my car. It's the only album in my phone. There's that and Mitch Hedberg.
It's the new U2.
Is it the one? It's the one that got everybody. Yeah, that one, right?
What the Eminem one?
Yeah, it's got that song on it, right?
I don't think so. I don't.
Man, I don't revisit it, and it's not because I don't like Eminem. It's just I have determined that he is a bit too staccato for my old man ears.
But there's also, and I think it's like this with every band, and it's also why people like bands and their style, and they don't want them to change, and when they do change, they bitch about it, and they don't change it. You can never win. So I understand that. And but I feel that just like bands or whatever, they were popular, super popular, like during a time, and that kind of gets stuck in, at least, it's not even his fault. It's like my fault, where I just like reference in my mind liking this artist at a particular time in my life, and I liked it because of the culture that was going on. It's like why things are popular at certain times or whatever, and you go back and revisit them, and you're like, So it's just it's his style and everything seems dated to me because I've been listening to him for 25 years. So when I hear, and it's kind of like
that resonates with me,
And he's still, and it's like, and then everybody hated when he did the anti, like I'm off drugs, like they hated that. They hated that album. And then he went back, and I think, honestly, they hated that one, which is not his fault.
Make drugs cool again.
And then he kind of went back to being angry and like not so much. He doesn't rap about drugs so much. He still references them here and there, not as much as the 90s, obviously.
Certainly not.
But he's obviously stopped talking about
his toe in almost like horror rap, because it was all about like he'd weave these tales about like either Stan or killing his wife or and
it's very dark.
But it's not as dark.
So even when he starts trying to like get angry about people dissing him or like not liking his past album or like talking S about him and stuff, like it's hard for me to believe anymore, right? Like I feel like even though it sounds like he's passionate about it, it just seems like an act, only because the reality is I'm like, do you really care?
Okay.
You're stinking rich. You have unlimited wealth.
Well, you yell about stuff all the time.
Yeah, but I'm not Eminem rich.
You're comfy though.
I am comfy, but I talk about it.
You said you're not mad anymore. That's my point.
I believe
you're yelling outrage.
I think he's yelling more than he's ever yelled on the show.
But what about now?
I think if you looked at the show in 2012,
he blows his headphones off once a week.
Or 2009. If you look when we started this podcast or this particular brand in 2009, if you looked at that and you look now, like you're way more angry than you ever have been.
But you can still be angry and be more comfortable. And I'm not going against my point.
Kind of sounds like you are.
My point about the Eminem thing, I don't believe he's angry about these people dissing him anymore, or like he's angry that his last album didn't sell because he knows the business.
I think yours is a lot more deep rooted than mine is. Like mine is purely like purely that I believe that his style.
You don't like the style.
I think you hit it. No, I liked his style though. I did.
You grew out of it.
I think I did grow out of that like choppy, very staccato style. Like if I listen to somebody like Black Thought now, If I listen to somebody like,
Have you moved into the mumble rap? No?
I'm dancing with a little
You're
bit.
dancing?
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
dancing with a little. I've been listening to Little Yachty's new album.
All right.
I like some of the beats that those guys do, but like most of the rap that Action Bronson, I've been listening to a lot. He had some new stuff that just came out. I don't know. I like smoother rap. I like rap that's more rooted in jazz. You know, like I like
the style of hip hop changes, and I don't know.
And my style of hip hop, by
idea.
the way, my style of hip hop and rap that I like is old man as it gets. It's boom bap. I think that's what the kids call it. They hate the boom bap. Well, I'm Mr. Boom Bap.
Yeah.
Because I like
Mr.
it.
Boom
I
Bap.
want it 2 and 4. I want some jazzy hooks. I want some chipmunk soul. I want clever lyrics.
I want Southern crunk rap to come back. Can we bring that back?
I enjoyed Southern crunk rap. You talking
It's
about
just
like
fun.
Bubba Sparks?
Like
Sure.
Jelly Roll and those
Jelly
guys.
Roll is that what?
Not really,
Now
though.
he's transitioning too. Jelly Roll is becoming
More soulful.
more of like a soulful Southern singer. Have you heard his new music?
Kind of like how
Dude,
Yellow Wolf
he
went.
doesn't even rap now, Jelly, and he's got a good baritone voice because of how large he is. I feel
Yeah.
like I really like his voice. He sounds great. He could be a country singer.
There's a lot like what's the guy that he died? I think of an overdose, and he like did songs where he rapped but also sang, but he had a real like guys were like not
You talking about Lil Peep?
was it Little Peep? He was a bigger like he's a little
No.
fatter
No.
guy.
No, that's not Lil Peep.
Okay, you know, one
That's
of the
Big Peep.
one of the brothers, the Crystal, like God, I'm forgetting all their names.
Chemical Brothers.
Avett Brothers
Oh.
redid one of his songs, like it's a you know. He God,
Somebody-
what the
somebody in the-
hell?
We've got some people in the chat room trying to help you out here. We've got Mystical, the rapper Mystical.
He's
Then-
alive, and I think I
God!
think he's back in
then
prison for raping again.
I love it when this happens.
What?
Then everybody's
Why
trying
did we
to-
start talking about this? I don't know nothing.
Everybody's
This
about
is
music.
hilarious.
Everybody's trying to get you. Ruben stuttered. Somebody
That
said.
got me. Brock got me with that one.
Del
Screw
the funky
you.
Homo sapien. No, it's not Del. He's skinny too.
MF Doom?
No,
MF
it's
Doom
one of the
did
Little
recently-
Peeps, Xanax. It's one of
Little
those
Peep
guys.
Xanax?
It's
Yo,
one of those-
son, it's me, Little Peep Xanax.
It's one of them that died of an overdose. He's got a bunch of tattoos, and
That's
he's
little.
got.
That's Little Peep.
Maybe it is.
Is it Little Peep?
But Little Peep wasn't.
But he
like,
wasn't big.
He was tall, maybe, but not a big. He's a slight man.
Was it a white guy?
Is a white guy at.
Whoa, Whitey.
No.
Butler.
Butler, go in.
Look,
Butler, go
give me-
flush your head in the toilet.
Look up Little Peep. I'll tell you what he looks like.
Okay, I'll look up.
Oh, the song's called Circles. I just remembered it. It's called Circles.
Are you thinking of Mac Miller?
Mac Miller. That's it.
Mac Miller.
He's
So
not
we,
big,
We went
by the
all
way.
the way to Little
Mac
Pete.
Miller.
You
That's
told
it,
us there was an
Mac.
obese.
I got it.
You
I
said
got
there
it.
was an obese
You
white
didn't
guy.
get it. I got it.
The song.
You're kind of a fat
Circles.
guy,
He's
right?
no, he's not at all.
Mac Miller was
No?
not fat at all.
No.
No, Mac Miller's talented though. Was talented.
I swore when I saw some video of him singing Circles, and he's a little fat.
People are saying he was okay. No, Norm is weighing in to help you because you do have friends. He says he was a little chunky. No,
No,
I
he
do
was
not
not.
believe
No,
he
he
was.
was
Hold on,
not.
look up Mac Miller.
He looked like Chet Hanks.
Yeah, yeah, he did
but
kind of.
but he wasn't the Machine Gun Kelly super skinny tattooed guy. He
He's
was
pretty
a
skinny, bro.
I thought he was a little chunky.
Oh, dude.
Little chunky Miller.
Did he go through a chunky period?
No, bro. He was on drugs.
I don't think he did, man.
Never chunky.
at him.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
going to us. I'm doing Inception
Lil
here
Miller.
for everybody.
Maybe maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. Anyway, Mac Miller. There. It
I mean, he
is.
does have a song called Circles. So.
Let's see if I can do this.
What were we talking about?
How you guys aren't cool anymore?
There we go.
Was Eminem cool anymore? That's for old
No.
people.
No,
I
he's
don't- no,
not.
he's
They're
not.
trying to cancel him.
Everybody thinks well, because listen, like what he rapped about in the '90s obviously is not good now.
Yeah,
like
you're
you
not.
can't do.
I mean, rap now also has problematic lyrics if you really want to break it down.
Yeah,
course.
well, everybody's gonna go
Of
back and try to
course.
be like, look, you can't say this. He said the F word for
It's
days
just like
a
don't
million
listen
times.
to it if you don't want to
Yeah.
listen to it, right?
Well,
Man, you hurt the feelings of the entire chat room because they said if Mac Miller's fat, then they're all on their deathbed.
that's true.
Man.
I got him wrong. I thought he was chunky at
They
one
called
time.
him Chunk Hanks.
Oh, Chunk Hanks.
Let's do a
You
voicemail.
can do a voicemail? All right, buddy. Let's try this one.
Hey guys, I've got an international story
Is this the same guy?
for some dental work I had done.
Is this
I
the guy?
needed a lot done. I went around here.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same guy. Okay. I saved that one because I wanted to try and source, like find the number and compare it to the two. And, see if I can track him down. Oh, no.
Remind me never to talk about hip hop again, please.
Okay, all right, I'll make that note.
Stop me anytime I start weighing in.
I was actually impressed that you knew about the cover that the Avett Brothers did of Mac Miller. So I think there's a lot of positive here.
He kind of misinformation that a little bit.
He did, but it's a lot. It's very impressive that you even knew that, or that you had either listened to either of those songs. To me,
well, no, Crystal listens to songs, and then I'm like, oh, I like that song. It was one of the Avett Brothers singing Mac Miller's song "Circles," and then I'm like, that's a nice. And she said, he's covering it from Mac Miller's "Circles," and then that's how I know.
What are your thoughts on Young Thug?
Don't know who that is.
What are your thoughts on DaBaby?
Don't know who that is.
Okay,
I know Kodak Black.
What are your thoughts on Kodak Black? That's nice. Well,
I have no thoughts. Actually, I've never.
I'm sorry, Dan. I'm going to have to stop you there. I was told to stop Tom from talking about rap.
There it is.
Pizza party. Here we go. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Travis, and Samantha. I was just listening to the best of ACT, and you were talking about David Nichol, who I know very well. I just want to let you know I cast David Nichol in a Bill and Ted show as a drunk Tony Stark, and he killed it. End of message.
Oh, you know who
wow, look at that.
Yeah, you know who that is too. I don't know if I can say who that is. Because he's having. He sounds like he's having fun in his Jeep, driving around town having fun.
Old D. Nichol, he was in a bunch of those shows. Like I remember,
he's still on the billboard out there.
He's
still on the billboard out there. If you go into Universal Studios and you look to the right,
he was in the Who show, right?
No, on the billboard he's in. It's for Rising Star Karaoke. It was until and that's no longer a thing, or it is a thing.
I thought it was, but I don't know.
Karaoke.
Rising Star Karaoke. That's what my dad used to call it. I'm getting lazy mouth because I'm having fun today, so I'm getting lazy mouth. Let's try this one.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Samantha, and Travis. So, listening to the Friday Free Show about Tom and his...
No, man, I haven't been deleting these.
Come on.
I'm off my game, guys. You guys
let's go back to rap. Let's talk.
What's funny is that there's a lot of them, and you choose the ones you've
already played.
Well, because
I think your brain goes.
This one's good.
Well, my memory is so bad that I see that I would go, that'd be good to talk about.
And
we already did.
Yeah.
You're right, but we've already done it.
Right.
Yeah.
Tom, Dan, Sam, Trav, what up, guys? PDM Mike. Tom, I'm at our favorite Castleberry McDonald's, Walmart, Subway Plaza, and I'm looking at the fancy court. Tom, Dan.
No. You know what? You wanted to go round two.
It's fine. Just here we go.
With the finest Hollywood Institute of Beauty Careers and the Cristal Ballroom. Either way, how lucrative you think that is? Own like big strip mall space and rent it out for your quinceañeras and your bat mitzvahs and family reunions or whatever they do at the Cristal Ballroom. Anyway, BDM for life. Love you guys.
What's funny about this is I literally, back when I was Big Fat Tom and I used to eat a foot-long tuna sub.
Would you hide in the Cristal Ballroom?
No, but there's a Subway and a McDonald's that's near my house.
You got a tuna sub from Subway?
He loved them. He used to love them.
Yeah,
He'd eat one a day.
Let me tell you, buddy.
One a day. Almost two a day. I had to talk him out of getting two a day one day. The guy was straight up addicted to it. He was addicted to Subway tuna subs like Floridians love Oxycontin.
My
Every day.
No.
Foot-long tuna.
Not every
white
day.
bread, and then you put hot sauce all over it.
I would, eating poorly, and I'd sit in the parking lot, shame eating my tuna sub.
Oh, wait a minute.
Bring
Your
it over.
parking lot eating a Subway tuna sub?
Well, I have to eat.
This is a nightmare.
Daniel got mad
I
because
wouldn't let him bring it to the old studio. I'd be like, it smells like ass.
Yeah.
This is before this too. Yeah, this is because I'd have to sit next to Daniel 2 feet away and then talk.
Blowing that hot.
You're the bad one.
Blowing that hot whale breath all over me. Whale breath all over me.
Do not get tuna when you have to
super
talk
hungry.
to somebody. everybody.
So he'd come from Predator's practice. He's inhale the foot-long tuna. He take a bunch of Oxycontin. He pours some
and then you
Modelo's.
left the stinky wrapper of the
In the
tuna
trash can.
in the car, right?
Oh yeah. Because I had to hide it and pretend like I wasn't a big fatso.
So tell us about this crystal ballroom. And you're the king of Castleberry. In Castleberry, there is a ballroom that you can rent for quinceañeras. And
it's a.
I just want to mention in the Twitch chat that Chungus Glorioso said, "Wait a second, the tuna sub from Subway is delicious." So that's where you're at, Tom.
Well, that was a different Tom. That was old Chungus
A different Tom.
Yeah.
Is that our buddy Chungus Glorioso?
Yes, yeah. He's in the chat.
The largest, most flexible
He says
man.
he gets it with onions and spinach.
Yeah,
there we go.
Spinach.
Oh, he's on a health kick.
Tuna and onions. Come on.
Health kick. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Oh
not
my
gonna
God.
do nothing.
Yeah, dear
Spinach.
Lord.
Spinach is actually hurting you at this point.
You should just go full tuna.
confused.
Yeah. The spinach is little roadblocks for the fat.
Anyway, as I'm sitting and eating my tuna sub, I would stare off and look at the.
I wish I was a little girl having a quinceañera party.
The Crystal Ballroom or whatever, and I'm fascinated by lots of these places.
There's one right here. It's at Izzy Bond Sushi and Riverboat Restaurant Ballroom right here.
Yeah.
And every time I drive past it for lunch, there's 3,000 cars out there. 3,000
Oh,
cars
okay.
and
See-
1 million people inside. And I'm like, what are they doing?
See, this place is abandoned ghost town. I never saw anybody go in and out, and I'm looking at it, and I looked at it for years, and it stayed in business, and I was like, what is it?
So wait,
how do they do it?
So you'd sit in your car eating a tuna sub, staring at a place where little girls have parties.
No, but I don't know.
All right, Jared.
I would try to figure out why,
On brand.
how it's still in business, and then I started going through my head. I'm like, well, they pay rent in this place, and it's a huge square footage, right?
They probably
It's
own it. Wouldn't they own it?
It's a strip mall. So what are they? It's a strip mall owners. Like usually, people that own strip malls are developers that develop strip malls and they rent it out.
Juan's saying what I was thinking. Those places are usually owned by the person that owns the whole plaza.
Okay, maybe
That's
that
possible.
and then that makes more sense. It's like, okay, although it would make more sense to split it up and put more Subways or whatever the hell, put other businesses that rent out.
I'm with you.
So
All the tunas.
So I'm just like, who rents this? And I understand like bar mitzvahs and like other stuff like that, maybe. But anyway, I never saw anybody go in and out of that place, and it just
So you
sat
probably
there.
usually like evening events.
Yeah,
though.
maybe it's that, and maybe they. I mean, for weddings and stuff, like venues are expensive as hell. So
Yeah.
I guess you can do a couple a month and make your nut, right?
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
it. So
I think it wouldn't take much.
it just seems like a waste when things sit there vacant. It's like
Maybe we could
it,
open up a Crunch Fitness.
something like make it a spirit in Halloween time.
Yeah, I guess you could. When is that? I guess it's. Well, I don't know time. I don't know months.
Yeah.
I don't know how months work. So I was like, when is that October? When does that roll around? Yeah. Where are we
coming up.
at? Yeah. Started thinking of it now.
We need to ask
5 months
Craig
away.
because what's interesting to me too is like I'm gonna set up my tent in your parking lot, like for whatever mall or Publix parking lot or Big Lots or whatever. Like who do you contact? Do they put that out there and say, hey, I'll open up my parking lot, or do you?
You probably have to ask yourself
You're like
for permission.
Then who do you ask? Like, how does that even
Go to the
about?
manager.
Like, the manager of what? The Big Lots?
Yeah.
And then ask for who do you rent this from? Like, because, or I guess who's the owner of this property?
Yeah.
Because it's not
Do you need to
necessarily.
pull
You could
up-
just be like Big Tim and just show up with your hot dog cart
Yeah, I
and
think they
set
get
up.
you. I think they
Is
get
it
you for
writing? Do you have to have anything in writing?
Oh, yeah.
insurance-wise
For sure.
for it?
You gotta have permits, right?
that. You have to have a permit. You have to have a permit from the county.
God, such a racket. I hate the government.
And then, dude, like a lot of that's like lotto system. Like you have to submit to the county your LLC, and they just pick a random 5.
Yeah.
And like so, like, it's weird how those things are run.
Izzy in our Twitch chat room, or
just saw that.
or
I'm
Chungus
starving.
Chungus Glorioso. He chimes in with today's lunch. He says today's lunch is going to be Arby's, 2 pizza sliders, then 2 roast beef sliders, then crinkle cut fries and a large high C, but I'm going to go on a diet soon, one of these days, and I'll sign up to the gym one of these days. You didn't need to
I
add
don't believe you.
You didn't need to add all that. You didn't need to add all that.
I want a pizza slider from Arby's right now.
Yeah, that's the third time he's mentioned the pizza sliders from Arby's, so there must be some juice there.
I want
What
some.
is that?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's pepperoni and cheese
And
and a tiny
marinara.
bun.
Yeah.
Which it's garbage is what it is. But I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Sounds goddamn delicious.
And
well,
Izzy, why
it's like
did-
a bagel pizza my mom used to make me after school.
Why did you add? I'm going to start exercising
judging.
one of
Just to
these
let us
days.
know.
Yeah, we're not judging him.
Yeah. Also, when you say one of these days,
Twice.
We've done
We
the
doubled
math,
down.
and the days are so far in the future that can't even count.
Well, I mean, you need to know how many. You need to think about how many days you have. Right? I mean,
That's only 280 calories per pizza slider.
No, that's not bad. So, in order for me to do that for lunch, I need to
It's-
have one of those and a giant glass of
It's
water.
salami, pepperoni, Swiss cheese, marinara sauce, and a slider bun.
so you have two of those, and the other, and
Two roast beef sliders.
I think-
then crinkle cut fries and a large high C.
the large high C,
I've
the
been
sugar
sleeping
water.
on the slider game at Arby's.
The-
They got a jalapeno roast beef slider. They got a ham slider. They got a chicken
The
slider.
sugar water
Buffalo
is the worst
chicken
for you,
slider.
right?
yeah. Because it's probably as many calories as everything else combined, right? Like a
Yeah.
large high C.
It's just, yeah.
And what is that? Look up what's a large high C
It's
calorie
36 ounces,
at
right?
Arby's. I don't know, dude. I get a if you get a medium drink nowadays,
They're big, yeah.
they're big, like
310 calories.
Ooh.
Not as much as I
30
thought.
ounces.
Yeah, that's not
30
that bad.
ounces.
That's a large.
And they put some ice in there. Is that with or without ice?
Yeah.
You got ice in there, Izzy, or what?
Well, bigger people go without ice because they need the sugar.
the pure.
You know, the ice gets in the way.
It dilutes the sugar. You're
It
like,
does.
my sugar water's watered down.
Let's try this one. I think this is Canadian Josh.
Hello, Tom, Dan, Sam, and Butler. It's Canadian Josh. On the last BDM show, Zach from Ohio called in and brought up the discussion of road rage. Tom, you were trying to get your head around the fact of why people can get so angry over just a mistake somebody else made. I think it's just these people have repressed rage somewhere else in their life, and that's kind of like opens up the switch for them. But anyway, here's how we deal with road rage in Canada. It's not very common, but when it does happen, what a lot of people do, myself included, if you can get the person's license plate and direction of travel, what you do is you call the police and report them for DUI. Now, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are usually bored and are more than happy to pursue a DUI investigation. And so even if the person is squeaky clean, they still have to go through the hassle of being potentially pulled over by the
that's
cops.
petty as
And it
hell.
also serves as a deterrent to road rage too, because the more it happens, people who are going to perpetrate road rage know that this person might call and report me for DUI, and then I'll have to go through the hassle of potentially being stopped by the police. If you don't have insurance, if your registration isn't up to date, if your inspection isn't up to date, then you're going to have to deal with that. So that's how we deal with road rage here in Canada. Love you guys. BDM for life.
So you just narc people out.
Yeah.
And just cause them a pain in the ass. I don't
You a
think
snitch, Josh.
that's not gonna work here in the United States.
No,
the
everybody's
cops
drunk.
here.
Everybody's
Well,
drunk.
they're not gonna like. They're like, yeah. Well, who'd you see? Okay, well, and then they hang up. There's no way they're tracking that person down. They're like,
What
hey,
about
we got
a-
a suspected DUI.
What about an independent group of vigilantes?
Okay. Like the what was the people that stood on the side of the
I love
the
them.
corner?
They're the Guardian Angels.
Oh, yeah.
NYC. They wear I think they're bright red satin jackets and a tiny red beret. Great. Congratulations. You look like a bunch of clouds.
Is that still around?
Yeah, I remembered him last time when we had the DC shooter. Remember we had the sniper, the DC sniper?
Oh, yeah.
And it was super scary, you know. And then this guy's just picking off people trying to get gas and whatnot. And I remember they volunteered to go out and help people pump gas by standing out there in their red satin jackets with their tiny red berets.
Well, that's a ballsy. You take the
it is the
bullet.
balls. I admire
Shoot
him, but
your
I can
beret
also
off.
say you look stupid. But yeah, they're like
also, he's got a sniper rifle. Like he could easily, you know,
Sniper
Now,
beret.
you know what I was
Like,
thinking though? I was
how are you covering all angles of the person going?
Here's how I'm. Well, no, they would be like they'd stand out and like shield or pump your gas for you. Just stay in your
why?
car.
I just shoot through the windshield. It was stupid.
I like your thinking. You're thinking like a true sniper.
Where you protecting me? I got a 50 caliber sniper rifle.
I
will shoot straight through your passenger window, no problem.
I was thinking about that because I've thought about this before. This is what makes me probably a twisted person, is that I've thought about that before, and I remember hearing the headline, guardian angels will stand and pump your gas for you. So you don't, you lay in your car. I guess you lay on the floorboard.
Okay.
So I remember the story.
You pull up, you lay on the floorboard.
I remember thinking, this is how I thought. Please don't think.
Shoot through your door.
I can already tell that Sam's.
No problem.
Yep. So you're taking it, and Sam's going to think ill of me. But I remember thinking, well, if I was a sniper, I would just shoot for the floorboards. Like, I would try. I'm not going to shoot the guy with the beret because it's too easy. Everybody expects me to shoot the red beret man, so it'd be easier to just start shooting through the roof to get you on the floor. It was a crazy time.
The guy,
super scary.
He was in his trunk, and he had some sort of
He had
hole.
a kid with him. He had a kid with him.
It's his own kid.
Yeah. Was it his own kid?
Yeah.
I thought he was like an adopted kid or something.
Man, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was some crazy psycho ass.
And didn't he have like a loophole, like a way to see out of his trunk?
Right, he had like a little, a shooting hole, and he'd lay in his trunk, like you take the seat down.
Oh my God!
And that's what he'd do, is randomly, because he was mad at his old lady for cheating on him or something. Like, I don't remember what it was. He wanted to murder his old lady and get away with it, so he murdered a bunch of other people so that people thought it was a serial killer, and they wouldn't look at the him.
That's a long way to go.
It is.
It's probably a lot easier just you run in there and push her on the ground naked.
But also, if you think about it, a genius way to get away with
that's
murder.
Accurate, by the way.
I think that's what the story was.
I forget the story.
He shot his wife, his ex-wife, or whatever.
I am openly admitting I don't remember the story.
I think he killed his ex-wife and a bunch of other people, and in an effort to get away with the murder, because people would think it was the DC sniper, and it wasn't the husband. Like, it was a random serial killer. Because
I always thought
your
that
wife
they went
dies
on separate times too. Like I thought there were some times that they went together, sometimes they went.
It was some weird thing. But I think that was the overall motive at the end.
Grady Seasons is saying you're right. Yeah. And Grady's usually pretty good on the details. He's in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, if you want to see our lovely faces.
Like, it was a serial killer, technically, but it was to get away with one murder. Like, he serial killed to get away with one murder. It was nuts.
That is nuts.
Oh, bye-bye. Welcome.
No, what's wrong? What are you doing?
Yeah,
motherfucker pussy!
Don't get good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll cut that out.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. The fish are not in the bottom left-hand, or excuse me, it'd be, bottom left-hand corner. You're going to see our very special guest, Mr. David Jolly. In fact, if you follow him on Instagram, he's Mr. David Jolly. What's up, man?
Not much, my brother. Just over here working, you know what I mean?
Good to see you. Good to see you. I saw those Gildan boxes in there. You got your comedy shirts all printed and ready to be slung because we're open, baby.
Oh yeah, I got a website. Patricio is supposed to design it for me. I bought the domain name. He's gonna hook it up for me this week.
Dig it. I bought a domain name. I was gonna try and buy Tony T. Roberts' domain name this morning, but I did not because I would.
Why not?
Well, he let it lapse, and we had him on earlier because he's at the Improv this week.
Oh yeah, he's a very funny, cool dude, man.
He's hilarious. Cool, but I noticed his website is down. And then it was up for auction on GoDaddy, and I could have snagged it for $18, and I decided not to because Sam, our producer, she's very wise, and she said it would have been a bad look for me to go like, "Hey, I bought this and gave it to you, or given it to you." Like,
it seems backhanded.
Yeah, it does seem a little.
Hey,
bad.
Look, I would have bought it, then I would have blackmailed him and charged him $3,000.
That's worse.
That's why
he's a businessman. That's why we're talking to him.
That is why.
Yeah, exactly. Look, or I would have put up all nothing but porn on the site. They would have. You got to get your money, Dan.
Do we want to bring up that we almost had to reschedule with Jolly?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Remember, we almost had to reschedule with
Jolly.
Yeah.
So, let's
start at the beginning, Jolly.
We're just going real here.
Let's go rogue.
I'm about to go 3,000 on you.
Because I saw Jolly at our land cruise.
You did.
And this is what made me think of it.
How'd he get in there, by the way?
He got in.
I paid it. I paid a ticket. I didn't sneak in.
Right.
It was impossible to sneak in. I thought about it at first.
Yeah, they got fences.
I'm going to be right back in the slammer. So this ain't a good idea.
Now, that's what I wanted to talk about.
It's not impossible for you to sneak in. All you got to do is text old Denny. I'll dress you up like my daughter. Bring you in. I'll be showing you to everybody. It would have been fine. We could have done some good pranks.
I look just like her. I don't know if you'd have had the right blonde wig, though. A certain type of blonde that she had.
Yeah, it is a certain type
Everybody can't pass.
certain type of ombre.
I will watch a reality show with your daughter and David Jolly where they go on adventures together.
They would be amazing.
Like a Robin Big.
I would definitely get arrested the first episode, because they'd be like, "What are you doing with that pretty little white baby?"
Yeah.
It's true.
But what an exciting first episode. That's going to be amazing.
Okay, well, so I saw Jolly at the Land Cruise.
It was the highlight of the Land Cruise for me. Seriously, man, because when you poked her head through that sound girl's little hole, and you scared her, her name's Ellie, by the way. You scared her training bra off, dude. She did not know where she was.
You started screaming. I was listening to you in jail, and then your buddy who was with you was like, I guess, giving you a look, and then you were screaming "no homo" but loud, and then
he started screaming "totally homo" and pointing at you.
Like, loud. And then it dawned on me as the eggs were falling and the show was going awry. I was like, we need to get Jolly back on the show. It's been enough time.
It has.
Because, and let's start from the last time you were on the show, Jolly. And we could talk about why we almost had to postpone this segment.
Well, he runs it loose. You know, he's a freewheeling dealer.
Would you be willing to speak about your legal affairs?
Man, I'm good now. They are reinstated. They had me on a probation violation, and it was like, it is what it is, you know. I mean, once they say they terminated and put me back on probation, I was like, that was pretty sweet.
Gotcha. And was that just like a random out of nowhere? Did your lawyer say that they'll probably throw this out, or how does that work?
Well, she hit me up. I didn't have to go to court that day when I had hit Sam back up, and I was like, yeah, I could do it on the 13th.
And they said they dropped it, and you're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, they reinstated me because I bonded out on a violation of probation, you know? So it was like, when you bond out, you violate it, but they can do what they want to when you go back to court.
Gotcha. Okay, so
none of us know what that means.
Of course, I know it did.
I do. I bailed my daddy out of jail plenty of
I'm
times.
kind of a squeaky clean nerd guy.
Daniel's never gotten a point on his license.
I
Man, that's pretty good.
I've actually been detained for being too drunk.
You guys never bailed anybody out of jail?
That's it. No, that's it. That's the only Jolly. You know me well enough. That's the only thing I've done is drink a lot.
No, we had to bail the Grizz out, but I didn't go. I wasn't part of the crew that went. And got him.
That's a great question. I've never had to bail somebody out of jail.
It's not fun.
So Jolly,
hold on. Are you all right?
What happened?
No, you good. Everything's good. Everything's all right.
When you turned around, I thought it was like a home invasion. Oh my God!
Breaking his doors down.
Oh my God!
Violation of probation again.
Yeah, at least have my daughter there for good footage. This isn't good footage.
So, when I saw Jolly, it got me thinking.
It got me fired up because I got to pay you a compliment, man. I love your energy. I really do. Like, it puts a smile on my face. I love talking to you. You're always kind of pushing and yeah, sure, there'll be some probation here or a scam there, but other than that,
hey, that's one. I got a guy, like, you know, the job you gave me, Tom. I'm gonna tell you about him, you know, when we get to that point. But
let's do it. Let's get to it. We're there. We're there.
Jump in. Why did you want to book John?
We're there because this is the only thing Tom's booked. I'm tired of talking to gamblers. I'm tired.
Oh my God.
If I talk to one,
we're talking one guy.
I'm over it.
I emailed 50.
One is one too many because they're really great to talk to.
Jolly got his ring light on now.
They liked it.
Oh my God! Jeez Louise! I thought somebody had burnt a cake.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Yes.
Now we're there. Now we're in it. Now we're there. Officially, we can start. We had to do it.
I gotta get out of here.
You got him.
Now we're there.
He loves it.
All right, do the deal.
All right, so the deal, I started thinking, and, I looked over at Travis. He's standing there with Tiny Dukes and a stormtrooper helmet.
With big old boobies.
Big.
Oh, you see Travis's boobies, Jolly? Oh.
Yeah.
Are they nice?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be nice when they fill in a little bit.
The big butt.
He's only 40.
So and Travis, I feel like he is whiter than white because he's British, right?
Yeah.
Like he is original white. Like even if Travis was American, he'd be one notch cooler. But he's like
he's so close to powdered wig and rosy cheeks. It's not even funny.
And you don't know what he do in his personal time.
No. I think he's a slave for his wife because when I see him leave this show, as he's walking to his car, Jolly, he puts on a Health in Motion chiropractic doctor vest, and then he does. I've seen him do it.
Yeah, he's playing with toys at home. He's watching some British shows. And
I caught Mrs. Marple last night.
And so Travis is our sales guy. So what happens is, he's going after, I feel like we hit a sales rut, right? Where we're kind of like, we're looking, we should get LASIK. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're looking at LASIK.
Yeah. Going to terrestrial radio sponsor.
I am an extremely happy client of Ideal Image. I'll throw it out there, sure. If you know them, get them on board because I love my non-hairy.
Hey, I know somebody working at Ideal Image.
All right, here we go. Making connections.
Already this guy's making deals.
I got you.
So I figured we need to spice it up a little bit. We need to get outside of our box, outside of our comfort zone. And I thought about it. I was like, maybe I'll hire Jolly as
unconventional sales guy.
Yes, a roving sales guy that can go out and find
he has sales experience, as we know.
Hey, I have a lot of sales experience.
I saw you on the news.
Hey, man, it is life,
Hey,
sometimes you got to sell some time.
Watch this. Watch this. Name one other sales guy that's been on the news. You can't.
Never.
Also, me and Samantha did bring up a good point. Mm-hmm. We kind of blame the people that bought a timeshare from you.
Correct.
They kind of deserved a little bit.
Were these in-person timeshare sales or were these over the phone?
I was just saying, not to be a victim blamer.
Yeah.
They
got to take a little bit of the blame.
Yeah, because if you explained, and then
this is on you.
Hey, all I'm saying is, I got a little land in New York I'm trying to sell. If anybody want to hit me up, hit my inbox.
All right.
The land in New York.
All right.
Don't make that joke, Jolly, because I'm sure there's some judges like, if you
it doesn't matter. Sammy the Bull was selling ecstasy like a week out of jail. Like, don't even worry.
That's true.
You're fine.
Anyway, I figure we need to spice it up and then see if Jolly can bring in some new clients, some clients that are outside of our bubble. And I figured, we're not going to get there unless we, bring
Jolly's
in Jolly.
A man of the people.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's on the street.
I like that your only idea was David Jolly. I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, listen,
the complete opposite of Butler.
Butler.
You're gonna go with the best. Go with the best, baby.
He plays.
Either go hard or go home.
I like that.
He plays with Legos. He drives here, then drives home.
There's plays with Legos.
So what explores? He's not out there. Like, he doesn't know what's going on.
So
he's got his finger on the pulse of Orlando.
You need a man that can.
Like Jolly's out.
He's not afraid of the streets. He's not afraid of
the
people.
Streets, baby.
He's in the streets. Yeah.
You've been
He's taking it to the streets.
You were doing comedy shows the day after the NBA shut down. You never stopped.
Never stopped.
Never stopped.
We're too much P words. We are hiding in our house, looking through the blinds. We're like out there. Corona's out there. Jolly
I'm not
is
really
out.
worried about I wasn't really worried about coronavirus because I had sex unprotected throughout the whole '90s. So
right.
We made it through that.
Immunity.
There is some logic in
that's
in
immunity.
Did you get the coronavirus, Jolly?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh my God!
Are you sure? That's hard to believe.
I knew it was a fake virus, even though my husband almost died.
What's your blood type?
What the hell? My husband is healthy as hell, and he almost died from this virus.
But also, he was like a mask or going, Jolly's out there.
Maybe it's does he smoke cigarettes? He don't smoke cigarettes.
No,
right?
no.
So that's why it almost killed him. You got to really fuck your body, mess your.
I knew it. I should have taken that bet. I would have been rich.
I'm glad I ain't bet.
I knew it.
So Jolly, you said you have a guy that.
Yeah.
Let's
talk
keep
about
this
it.
going.
So I did tell you, Jolly, a couple weeks ago. I was like, hey, see who's out there. See if there's any possible advertisers for Tom and Dan.
Man, I got some good ones now.
Okay.
I got some good ones now. I got my homeboy, right?
Yeah.
He got a mobile dispensary.
Okay, all right.
Mobile
dispensary.
I like
Okay,
that.
yeah. Now,
I mean, I think he got his card. I ain't sure if he got his card, but that don't really matter. We can get his money, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Well, that's a home run.
He's just selling.
I'm just saying. I don't know if it's legal. So like,
well, what is it these days?
Well, we can't.
That ain't really our business. All we got to do is advertise this card, right?
Yeah,
His
our
ID.
job is to get the phones ringing, not to make it legal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Jolly,
I'm with Jolly on this one.
No. Well, we, that may be a conflict of interest with Trulieve.
Yeah, I have my hat on today.
Yeah, one of our dispensary sponsors.
Well, I think I'm picking up.
Oh, y'all got a dispensary?
Yeah. We
we
got
do.
Trulieve. They're our dispensary sponsor.
We're actually.
I forgot about that.
They're coming on.
But listen,
right after this.
He's got something else for us.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen.
Yep.
It's not a con. It's not a.
a con?
I'm a little high.
Your opening sales pitch is it's not a con.
And if it's mobile and they stay in one place, see if y'all can,
They do have delivery, Jolly.
I'm with him because a dog groomer in a strip mall is completely different than a mobile dog groomer. 100%.
They offer delivery. So you can go on Trulieve's website and just and then have them deliver it straight to you.
Yeah, but will they smoke out with you?
Now that they will not.
But that's the better part of it.
Yeah.
They will not do that.
Yeah, see, everything's going to service, Tom. It's not just the products. Everything's going back. The pendulum is swinging back to service. I'm actually better at this than I think I am.
Yeah, they will want that stick around and smoke a blunt with you.
Yeah. Hey, smoke me out, Jerry.
Which I do remember in high school where I didn't want to stick around and they forced me to.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't you just let me leave?
Now
and go
my
about-
mom will know I bought weed.
I'm just like, why? Like, you have no other people that you want to hang out with than the person you're selling drugs to? Why do you want to hang out with us? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Those children were hurt, man. The kids who used to sell it, they probably were hurt real bad.
Just getting serious.
They probably really emotionally depressed or something.
Yeah, why are you bumming out Jolly?
I'm sorry.
Why are you harshing Jolly's vibe?
Yeah. All right, Jolly.
I'm pretty. I need to go to Trulieve. Can you get me one of them cards?
Yeah,
that's not how that works.
I can get you a card. Anybody get a card.
You should
fill out some paperwork.
Look, every time I try to get them, I always forget what I beat and told them on what I wrote down.
Here's a promise, David. Here's a promise to you, seriously. And you know I'm serious. I'm calling you David.
Yeah.
If you can be a free man right now, and you are, then you can get a card.
Yeah. You just call and then
get a card.
Yeah, you just get a card.
Right,
just call and say, "I'm David Jolly," and they're like sending a card.
Yeah. There's no vetting really. No. They ask you some questions, you get the card. You never not get the card.
I don't think
you just always get the card.
It's kind of like
literally never heard a story.
It feels a lot like when you go to a church carnival and you're holding a fishing pole, and then at the end of the line there's a little clothespin, and you put it over the top of the refrigerator box, and the fat dad inside is always going to put a piece of candy on the end of it. Never not a piece of candy.
Yeah, you're never going to pull it out and no card.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Always card.
Always
card.
Speaking of business decisions, why you think they always put the fat dad in there? Why they ain't put like a skinny dad in there?
Because most people that go to church are fat.
Right.
I made that up. I don't know if that's true, but it's
also,
and whoever's skinny, that dad would just keep going to jail. That's why he's skinny.
The fatter dads are nicer, I feel like, and they
show up for the carnivals.
Yeah.
The skinny dads are either on a roof, because that's why they're skinny.
What kind of menu did you have there in jail, Jolly?
It sucked. I don't even want to think about that. It was really bad.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Jolly.
No, it's all good. It was just a bunch of snacks and like stuff that ain't edible.
That's what I eat. That's the Daniel diet.
Snacks. And then like I worked in the kitchen, and like we used to get extra sandwiches for working in the kitchen. And I must say, I got Employee of the Month like 3 times in a row.
Wow, has Butler done that?
There you go.
No. Answer's no. The only Employee of the Month we've ever had here is twice Ross, then he quit, and the rest Sam.
So who win now? Y'all ain't gave it to Sam yet?
No, she gets it every month. Every month.
She's
we just give it. She's lifetime achievement.
Yeah.
Then they drive
Sam
me
pretty
nuts.
much the boss. Y'all just there now, you know.
Well,
the wallets do not reflect that, Jolly.
Yeah. Every once in a while, we'll argue about serial killers.
Don't talk about it.
If y'all worried about legalities, I gotta cut a couple of these. I mean, I got a couple that might be legal, but I think they're legal. You know what I mean?
That's
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got?
We sell bug assaults for a while.
Well, I want to pay for me a sponsorship too. The winnersgroup.com.
The winners
shirts and stuff.
Let's do it.
Stuff.
We can do that.
That ain't important. I'm gonna give you this one here. I got a dude that sell pit bulls.
Yes.
But they don't got their papers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We don't need the papers.
I'm in the market for a puppy.
Yeah, me too. My wife.
I want a killing machine. I want a straight up. I want the chunkiest, and I want him to have them turned in muscle arms, where like you could tell the dog's joints were not made to be that way. But that thing is a killing machine. How cute would my daughter look standing?
But
next to him?
he got other dogs. They don't have their papers either. Like one of them, I think, is like a Shih Tzu mixed with a hot dog.
All right. Okay.
I know what that's called. I know what that's called. Hot cheek.
Hey, you give them your kids, they gonna love them. They just don't got papers, and I don't know if they got their shots neither. But they cheap though.
Yeah, those dogs need love. That's just because they don't have papers doesn't mean they don't need love.
Right.
So let's talk.
We lost him.
Let's talk let's talk about pit bulls for a second. Now, the ones that your buddy sells, because...
God, there used to be a drug dealer that bred pit bulls back in the day, and I went to his house, and I saw all of his drugs and money and all of his dogs, and man, it was impressive.
Is there still dog fighting? Like, Jolly,
that's a true story. Like, I don't know where I went, but it was in some section of Orlando.
Me and Jolly got the same Corona cough. I don't know.
Well, I had this cough for years. It can't be Corona, I'm telling you.
No, it could be cancer, though. That's gonna get you. that one you can't get a vaccine.
This is an everyday cough.
That's the worst.
Yeah, Fauci can say what he wants, but you got cancer, you're dead.
There's no way you can get the full service.
I don't know how many nerds can stand up there. You got to do this. You got to do that. I don't got to do nothing. This my body's eating itself.
So, pit bulls. Now, we've talked for years on the radio about...
By the way, this segment's going well. The chat room checking in. Better than every segment we've ever done on the show. They think...
We got to get all the white nerds out of here because they're killing it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I will do trivia.
I will do ACT. Oh, I've got some sports. Oh, look at me. Oh, hi. My job is that... No, just bring in fun people. Just fun, drunk people that like drugs and mischief and voodoo and scam. I want all the passive voodoo scams.
Do you believe in voodoo, Jolly?
I believe that I believe it could work. I hope nobody ever do it on me.
All right,
good answer. I guess it's real. I guess it's real. Like everything else is real in the world. What you believe in?
Let me see. I believe it's a thing.
I mean, that's a touchy. I mean, that's a subject. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
No.
You don't piss off those
wrong answers here.
That's the correct answer, is that you don't want to piss off the witch doctors.
You don't want to say the wrong thing.
I mean, look, I don't want to come at my next show with a little head. That'll suck. I'm like 6'2".
Somebody shrunk your head down.
Oh, if that happens, you're full on Tom and Dan.
Hey, but if you did run into some sort of witch doctor or somebody put a juju on you or whatever, and you got a tiny Beetlejuice head, you would be rich. Because you're funny.
You better believe it.
Because you're funny.
Anybody in their right mind would come and see that. You see, like on social media, all the people who are like the R word, they like famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think it's very odd that we have now all in 2021 just replaced the R word with the R word.
Yeah. We know it means the same thing.
We do. We do know. Which doesn't really.
We're mentally saying it to everybody.
We're just not saying it. So then you have to kind of look at that, don't you? As an intelligent person, you have to look at that and be like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Your intent is the same. If you're just not saying the word, it's still the same thing.
The only place it's safe at is family functions. Like, family functions, nobody care. You say all kind of words, the R word, the N word. I mean, it's a family function,
Back to these pit bulls. Is the one? Are they the little ones?
Yeah, the
Are
little
they the
mean
little
ones.
mean jacked up ones that look like
They're muscly.
kind of look like a cartoon on a redneck's truck? You know, they always
Yeah, he got them too. You talking about the British bulldogs?
No, I want to. They make these tiny pit bulls that it's like they've engineered them to squish all their muscles into the size of a soccer ball, and then they're like ripped.
Yeah.
That's what
I can see if he got one. How much you got?
I mean, what do they run?
Yeah. What are you talking? How much for a pit bull?
You got to inbox me the prices, baby. I can't be saying that all over
right, fair
America.
enough.
I got to get my cut.
Fair enough.
What are we thinking? Like under 300?
Let's start at $300.
I feel like,
but they ain't got no papers. I'm emphasizing that fact.
I think you're a brilliant businessman, by the way, because I think it was 100, and then I said 3, and you're like, start there.
Well,
Do
you want some real?
I'm bad at business.
Okay, the real is here that naturally, because of, I believe, David's life, I think that he has natural good business sense because he can smell out scams, because you run into more scams when you're just scamming.
Yeah.
Or when you're hustling.
You're
a hustler.
I'm gonna still not say if I did or didn't do that, but I'm gonna say that that's the only thing I've probably ever did illegal, except for have sex for money.
No.
I'm not sure I would have said that.
Hold on. How
You're indicting yourself, Jolly.
The correct answer. That was, we were looking for it. Yeah, that's a
Good answer.
Hold on. So now, Jolly, we got to ask you, how did having sex or
And how
for
much
money?
did you charge?
Yeah. Like,
$300.
how did that come
That was
about?
like the only illegal thing I ever did.
So, you got to tell us that story, Jolly. Like, how did you have sex for money? How did you prostitute yourself?
Isn't this ACT? You sure you want to hear this story, Tom?
Yeah, but we could. Yeah, just,
version.
I mean, as long as you don't curse and say
you don't have
curse
to say
words.
like, I ripped his ass. you know.
Yeah. You could tell the story.
I'm kind of high. I don't really remember. I'm gonna lie to y'all if I tell y'all the story now. Maybe the next time. We coming back again.
I think this business deal is going sour. He's almost out of here. What'd you do?
What
did you do? You're ruining
I'm
it.
sorry. I questioned the scams. So let's go with another potential advertiser, Jolly.
All right, he's got to get his notes. Got to get
my
his notes.
homeboy, right? My homeboy. His name Nick Nike. He sell Nikes, but like some of your Nikes might look different than the other ones.
No, okay, all right.
I like that.
This. Okay, hold on.
This I'm behind.
I could actually. This has some legs here.
But they for the Lolo now.
We do have a BDM sneakerman group.
Yeah, we do. Why don't we get our listeners to bring their guns to Nick Nike, and then he can supply them with off-brand shoes?
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So is this a business that's online, or is it something that you have to go to his place to buy the Nikes? How do you do the deal?
Yeah, you probably gonna have to go to his house because he ain't got no warehouse. But it's all right. It's the projects. They got security over there. So y'all, if it's like any Caucasian people want to go, y'all okay.
You know, I've done this too. I've gone to a hotel room where I walked in, and it was just piles and piles of expensive clothing that had been stolen from department stores, and it's just me. I'm the only white guy there.
Hey,
Nerd boy.
I don't know if it's stolen. All I'm gonna say is some of it might look different than the regular clothes that you would buy from the store. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
Nikes without papers.
I've done that,
That's
and you walk around and you just pick out anything you want, and you're like, how much for those? You know, how much for those?
No, I'm saying like your Jordans might have a booty on it.
Imitation.
Right,
I'd wear some booty Jordan.
I wear booty Jordan.
So how much could you get a pair of booty Jordans for?
Now, if you're talking about low top booty Jordans, or you talking about high top mid cut booty Jordans?
You're
a high top.
You like high tops. You always wear high tops around here.
Mid cut, okay. Booty Jordans, you get them. I think them boys running 40.
40? That's a good deal.
That's pretty good.
How do they wear pretty good?
I mean, they nice. You got you about a good 2-week run in them.
All right, fair enough.
Because
you
They
wear
might
more
break
for
down,
fashion.
like the seams might come out, but 2 weeks for $40, you
Yeah.
really can't beat that.
You wear
Just
more
don't wear them a lot.
Yeah, you wear more for fashion. You know, that's one of the things you need to start doing with your shoes, Tom. You need to buy pairs to match your outfits
Because
out.
those are like the warehouses in China. They can steal any brand. That's the whole problem. Like
Yeah, you just wholesale.
Yeah,
Tom, why you ain't got no outfits that match you from Miami, baby? You supposed to be colored out.
know.
Dickie shorts,
Yeah.
Dickie hat, you know what I'm talking about?
He needs that, like the Dickie
has
shorts,
no
and then
fashion
he
sense.
needs the Dickie work shirt, same color, and then he needs that floppy. That floppy
a cowboy hat,
like a floppy fishing hat, same color.
That'd be flavor.
Man.
You look like, oh my God.
With some Chuck Taylors on.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
So,
Jolly, what do you think about when girls wear Chuck Taylors at their wedding?
I never seen that before, but I would love her forever if she ever did that.
There you go.
See, I knew
I
Jolly
would
was my
love her
friend.
forever because she'll be the most gangsters ever.
I threw
right.
my first loaded question at Jolly, and he got their answer right.
Good answer.
This guy's good, man. I approve of this bit. It's the only bit you've ever brought. I approve of.
Jolly, I think the next time we're going to have you on, I want to do a brainstorming meeting, a business brainstorming meeting with you because in an effort to help this company, I feel like, you know, I mean, you guys have heard my ideas. They're the same old thing recycled over and over.
Well, your skywriting idea.
Yeah, so skywriting in this
Well,
whole
let's ask Jolly real quick. Okay, Jolly. So Tom wanted to buy.
Okay, let's do it now.
You
Okay.
explain it and see
Jolly,
get his just initial thoughts.
because you know promotion, right? You know you've been a promoter.
Yes, sir.
He's a great promoter, and let's not forget to plug like your
Okay,
website
yeah.
or where we can buy your shirts and stuff to support. Can you get that out now before Tom tells you his business idea, please?
Okay, like for right now, like my site, I bought the domain name. It's not up yet, but if you know me on Facebook, you can inbox me. I got the shirts on me. I'll pull up on you. Or you can come over to my office and get some shirts. You can bring some grass too if you want to, and then grab some shirts. But next week I have my website up. It's thewinnersgroup.com. Of course, I'll put the link in all my bios. MRD Jolly, IG, MRD Jolly on TikTok. And I do a lot of stupid stuff on both of those social platforms, and I enjoy it a lot because I like doing stupid things. That's how I live my life.
You got any? You got any comedy shows coming up, Jolly?
A lot of them out of town. I don't really have nothing in Orlando coming up. But comedy is back full fledged. Like a good site if y'all want to go to some good shows. Like even if you just want to chill out for the evening, go to OrlandoComedy.com. It's a lot of great shows that you'll see, a lot of great open mics, and a lot of the professional comedians go to like open mics just to perfect their craft. You know what I mean? To hone their skill.
Absolutely, man.
So,
all right, here's Tom's dumb idea.
Yeah. Well, coming up, we wanted to do a week-long promotion for BDMs and basically like sign a friend up. We were building some things, and we never really do this, and we haven't really focused on like sign up to become a BDM for like a targeted amount of time.
We really never have
in a lot of years. So we were looking at like, hey, we should do this at least once a year. So we were thinking of different promotions, and I'm going a little 90s. I was like, we'll get a Skyrider to write BDM in the sky, and people will take pictures of it. I know that's stupid, but I was thinking billboard.
I have a bad feeling.
Yeah. So if we're talking promotion, how do I get the word out, Jolly? If I want BDM signups, and I want some attention, what would you do? I thought about old school flyers, like having a flyer team, but then I was like, people get mad if you hand them a flyer. They punt in the garbage.
Punt it into the grass. That's a horrible person.
Dude, I've watched people, like someone hand them a flyer, they take it, walk 2 steps, and just let it fall to the ground.
You know what? For a while,
they do that all the time. But when you think about it, like to be a BDM is like a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's dope. It's a family. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole nother experience. So what I would do is I would tell the BDMs, hey, how about y'all bring a couple people and just do like a big shindig like the Land Cruise was, and just let people vibe, and they're gonna sign up on their own once they get around all the other
No. We want to waste our money. That's too good of a norm. You mean to actually use the product that people enjoy to get more people? I don't know.
I want to waste a bunch of money, Jolly, and
You
do
just
something
want a
grandiose.
Skywriter.
I want the Skyrider.
Why do you want a
Okay, so
Skyrider?
check
It
this
doesn't.
out.
Hold on, Jolly. What if you looked up and in the sky it said BDM and smoke? Wouldn't you be like, oh my God?
Would you even
I
know
would
what
want to know what a BDM was at first.
Yeah,
I didn't know what a BDM
Yeah, but you
was.
wouldn't know. Where would you go? Are you going to go to Google and type in BDM? And how's that help us?
No. You start asking, like, what is
Or
that?
just people around you? You're like, what the hell is this in the sky? What's happening? Are we
Everybody
under
would be so
attack?
confused
Oh
and
my
they'll
God, we
fight.
should
You
also
see how ridiculous
buy
that
gas, buy gas,
idea is,
everybody
right?
buy gas, buy gas.
I like that idea. I like it. I'm not telling you to do it because I don't
You know
have
what?
any money to pay for a plane.
There
but I'm
it
saying
is.
I like it.
I need a Jolly in the office so that every one of my
It's like a mystery. You're going to want to know for the rest of your life what is
I've
a
been
BDM
wanting
till you
my
find
wife
the
to give
truth.
me a Jolly
You
in the
found the
office.
truth, sucker.
what,
You
up?
find the truth.
What is he yelling? So, all right, Jolly. We'll talk to you again. This went well.
This went great.
And if you could find any more sponsors, we appreciate it. I'll tell you some more of my business ideas. And
You can inbox him for shirts.
website
up next week.
So when you were telling us that you were listening to this show in prison,
in jail, I ain't never
not
been to
prison.
prison.
I'm sorry.
How dare you. That is
Man, I was
disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
God.
I didn't know it was that big of a difference.
What's
Yes,
it like
it is.
on death row, Mr. Black Man?
Hey,
My
no.
God.
I tell you, I know what you about to ask me. I break it down.
No.
I'll break it down.
Well, I'm just wondering first, okay, because I thought about two things. One is when I used to work for Champ Sports, I used to listen to talk radio as like literally.
You also refer to that as jail.
And then when like sometimes I'd have a like they'd hire a partner for me or whatever, and he hated talk radio and he was
An
mad at like an assistant, like basically another coworker to help me stock the shoes at Champs.
Gotcha.
Anyway, he hated talk radio and he was like, "What is this garbage? Why don't we listen to his music?" You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, I like talk radio. Anyway, I could imagine. Did you have anybody in the room with you that hated listening to talk?
Now, like I had headphones, and second of all, like I was always in the room by myself because I don't really like humans a lot, and I had a lot of snacks. So when you got a lot of snacks, it's like having a lot of money in jail. So I'd be like, hey man, if you go find you another room, I'll give you 4 packs of ramen noodles.
I didn't know you could do
another
that.
room.
Then we owe you some ramen noodles, I think.
I was under
No,
the
I hate
impression.
ramen noodles. Don't even speak that word. I
Oh,
ate them
sorry.
for 4 months.
I
They
was just
sucked a lot.
I was under the impression that you had no choice of your roommate and
Soulmate.
I mean, like it's like depending on where you at or what bay or whatever. But like, nah, I listen to y'all. I listen to I like the News Junkies. The News Junkies real good. They got a lot of balance in their show. Like it's a good program, and you find all kind of stupid stuff about the news around the world. Jim Colbert, love Jim. Dirty Jim is a 50-year-old white man from Palatka. So what more you expect? But it's a great show, and he's a great person, and you can tell he's the leader of the show, but he don't, you know what I mean? Be like, he don't need all of that yankety pankety, you know what I mean? He don't need all of that.
That's the first thing I think of. It's like, this
I mean,
guy,
no,
this guy doesn't like no
show.
yankety
Like one
pankety.
time they were talking about
He
they're
loves the
moving
pankety.
from Oviedo to another part, and I'm like, why am I listening to this? Because it's a good show. Because it's a good show. I love Jim Colbert, News Junkie. Of course, I listen to y'all. I cried every night. Like when y'all had Tony Palmiotti on Weird Job.
Oh,
that was your favorite one.
Hey, that was great.
That was your favorite.
Hey, and
That
Dan
was
was
the
like,
worst.
the deals are crazy good. They'll blow your balls off. I was in there crying. Man, listen, I used to cry listening to y'all, man. I used to be in there crying every night. And people looking at me like, what's so funny, bro? We in jail. And I'm like, I'm not in jail right now.
Tony
Saturday
Palmiotti.
night, I'm not in jail. I'm in my
Quiet,
own
Chex
world.
Mix Tony's on.
Man, that joint used to be so funny, man. I could tell y'all about 8 shows like when I was in there that just had me crying. I was in there like crying laughing.
Well, we appreciate you listening to us, man, and I'm glad.
Come
that
on,
you-
man. I listen to y'all all the time. Y'all my partners.
Well, I'm just glad.
And now that I work for y'all, I'm great for you, but I ain't calling y'all white dudes boss man. I'm telling y'all now.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that.
No. And also,
Butler's the only one that calls us boss.
That is true.
We make him do it.
Yeah, and it's a natural thing.
Yeah,
it's a natural thing. He's like a bit of a sub, isn't he? He likes to be whipped.
Yeah, his wife is
You can kind of tell that this guy likes a good shot in the nads. Kick him hard so I can feel something down there.
Yeah. Also, Jolly, if you're willing to do some odd jobs, I may have some work for you. Like, we got to move this truck from
Sam's
Samantha's
it has
garage.
no papers.
But there's no
no
tag on
papers.
it, no papers. I told her, like, dissolve yourself from ownership because we got to get it from there to a couple other places in town, and then
and we need to weld some new compartments in it.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, we might need to get the mob for that one because, boy, I'm on probation. I ain't going to jail.
We need a different wheel.
I'm telling you now, I'm telling everything if it go down.
Yeah. We need Butler will do it.
We'll get Butler. Get in there, sub.
Because Butler just took cops. He's like, I don't know. You couldn't drive without license plate. They're like, get out of here.
I'm from England.
That's what they do.
Hello, was I going down the wrong way on the street, was I?
Yeah,
get out of here.
We know how America works. All right, Jolly. We'll talk to you next month.
Yeah,
okay?
we love you, man. Be good.
All right, love y'all, man. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, gentlemen.
See ya.
Wow, he's
only one edit there.
He's doing good. He's doing good.
But I knew that one was coming. I was like, no way.
Oh, yeah.
That made my day.
Yeah.
He's got good energy. I
now,
love
he
his energy.
claimed he was sober.
Well,
but I did see a marijuana cigarette as well as possibly a beer in hand.
Yeah, I think that was a regular cigarette.
Yeah, I think it was a regular cigarette, and I thought beer I can't explain.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have one beer and say I'm sober. I'm trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes and I am, because if I'm sipping on my first White Claw, I am sober.
Now, has he taken my throne of Employee of the Month, or
maybe this month?
I don't. We'll see.
Maybe this month. You better slinging some sirs around here.
A little less Elon Musk.
I'm never bringing it up again.
It gets so awkward. I love it because he hates confrontation, but he wants to get his point out without it being awkward. But the tension is going to be there because it is a disagreement, which doesn't mean anything other than there's an awkward barrier that I'm fueled on. I love it.
I'm used to. I shouldn't even. Because I do this to my wife all the time, where I'm like, wait a minute, why does this? I was like, it's like, what? Like, why do you do that? What are you talking about? Anyway,
it's impossible to have a discussion with Tom. It's impossible.
I just want to know the logic of it.
I enjoy.
Yeah, but when someone tells you, you don't like it.
It's happening.
Yeah, but you're telling me, but I don't know what
you know. What? Give the plaque to Jolly. I don't want it.
I can't just believe anything everybody tells me. They're like, this is the truth. And I'm like, I don't know this to be true. I don't. Just because you say it.
I gotta give me some time. I need 4 weeks. Give me 4 weeks.
Should we keep on going?
I mean, is it really?
Yeah.
Should we really? No.
Oh, this is a couple minutes.
No, we're done.
I can't see.
You can't see that, dude. That's big. That's a ginormous 40.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to and back.
Yeah, no, you're right. Welcome.
Well, I don't know. Should I redo it? You know what? I'm not. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan.
No, it's welcome to.
God, now I have to redo it, but I'm not. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
Tom. Let's do some emails. We never get.
It drove her crazy that I did it wrong again. It's just
Well, I said welcome, but we say welcome to
back.
and welcome back. I didn't tell you which one.
We do a double welcome. We shouldn't. This goes back to what I was saying a couple weeks ago, where I just want to go. And we're here. I'm not even say that. I just want to be like, there's a potato shortage in Ireland. I just want to go right into what we're talking about. Why we would talk about potatoes in Ireland? We never would.
Well, you know that what you're listening to, right? Either you downloaded the podcast or you tuned in.
I only do these shows for people that wake up in if you wake up in a holding chamber, somebody's playing this music for you. It's just some way to keep the boredom down before they kill you.
First email.
Okay, raccoon problems. I have some solutions for Tom's raccoon problems. The noisemakers and ground vibration and ultrasonic crap is all a waste of money. The best you can do is trap them if you want to be humane. You will need to trap for a couple weeks, but will then be able to use a peppermint oil on your perimeter to keep new ones out. They return to places they recognize, and if you trap the few that frequent your place, you can easily keep new ones out. But put the peppermint in your mosquito nix tank so it will constantly spray.
Oh, that's actually good. Okay, I got mad at this guy
and then turned you around.
Why you get so mad? You're normally the guy that hears everything out, and then you think.
Because
I think I'm bleeding off on you a little bit. Your reactionary nuances have been ticking higher
because they were all bad ideas until the peppermint spray and the mosquito nix, and I was like, now you got it. That's good.
But does that interact with the mosquito nix biodegradable blend in a way?
At
or
this
does
point,
that clog your
peppermint is an essential oil. It's fine, right?
At this point,
Put
I care
some
more
patchouli in there.
about getting rid of the raccoons and the mosquitoes.
Put some Nag Champa. You got to get the old school.
What if mosquitoes
thick.
love peppermint, and then you're actually bringing the mosquitoes to your
You got to get those thick-ass Nag Champas that they used to sell. That thing, it looks like a pugil stick. You light one of those out there and you poof the Nag, I'm telling you, those raccoons will never mess with your house, man. Nobody likes the Nag Champa.
I'm not joking. I'm going to... I have to figure out how to get that the top of the barrel off. Like
crowbar.
yeah.
You crowbar the barrel off, and I'm over there putting peppermint candies in there because you're gonna need a sidekick for your hijinks.
Yeah.
That's one of your problems during the pandemic. You had a lot of hijinks, but with social distancing, you never called me to come over.
Yeah.
And Lee went back to England, so you didn't have that weirdo to hang out with.
Yeah.
So you didn't
remember when you had Lee
drill out the holes in his gas grill. Yeah, that's the problem. That you know how long it takes to cook one hot dog on Tom's gas grill? 35 seconds. And it's black.
Hold on. Everybody makes fun of me
in
about
a woman's floppy hat.
Well, he's trying to keep it from being burnt.
You live an interesting life, my friend.
Well, you do dumb stuff. You do dumb stuff, and finally I get to tell you, you do dumb stuff.
I'm trying to be nice. I needed money. I didn't know.
You know what I do when people need money? I go, wow. Well, good luck.
I was trying to give him a job. I was thinking of things.
He was already buying his Abreva on our credit card.
True.
That's a true story. That's true.
I just don't want to I'm not in the business of just he could work for it. I was trying to find a job for him to work for, and then he was hot, so I gave him my wife.
So his idea was to have a guy.
He was dressed like a goddamn Ozzy Osbourne.
He's in all black.
So he had a guy in
whitehead
in a black leather vest who was using a power tool to make the holes because the holes in the regulator or the
burners.
What is the burners? The holes in your burners for your expensive gas grill had rusted shut. So when the gas would burn, it only let little poofs out, so you get uneven flames.
Well, you get no flames, and then it would jet out of the holes and form blowtorches because they needed an even distribution of flames. And it was so rusted. So I was like,
well, the holes he drilled were humongous, mega holes.
It was the smallest metal drill bit I had, but apparently it needs to be more accurate than that.
This is the stupidest thing I've had. This is right up there with paint your grass. Paint your grass or drill your holes.
I'm trying to come up with something for him to do.
You could have just gave him actual work around here.
So Tom had this guy that no longer he's not.
There's nothing to do around here. Ask Butler.
What? Butler's in there using Windex to clean his mouth pad. I saw him.
What is happening around here? Am I the only one that doesn't work?
Maybe. I have a report. I have people doing a report on that. Butler and Lee are working on it.
I hired Lee back.
Oh my God!
But he only works with Tony. He only works at Tony's Tiki Bar. He's the ugliest cabana boy.
Oh,
he's got an iPad Pro.
$2,700 iPad Pro to run Beach Bum Berries Tiki Madness drink guide.
My stomach hurts.
They were way off the rails today. But so Tom had this kid drill holes in his burners, and so when you turn this thing on, the flames you get on low are a high, and the flames you get on high are, I guess, what do you call that? Is a sudden death?
It was like
hell.
It was like 200 the blowtorch cigarette lighters going off at one time, just blowtorching. It literally, because you know how there's these like little ceramic briquettes that go on top.
You know, these little ceramic briquettes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And his grill,
it blew towards some red hot like a goddamn foundry.
Yeah, Tom opened his grill and Tony Robbins pushed out the bushes and walked across his grill.
Terminator 2, the thumbs up.
They're way too red. So this guy goes to kick. I think you went to cook. The last interaction I had with your grill is you invited us over. This is way pre-pandemic. And you invited us over for chicken kitchen after the holes.
Yeah.
And you went to do the chicken, and oh man, you put that chicken hot.
Burn it, yeah.
You burned it good.
You know how mad I was when I had to buy two $400 a piece burners.
They're
and
so expensive.
GD Artisan Grill that I got as a scam. That was less than the damn burners anyway.
I know. Next email.
Oh, okay. Vegas tips. So the wife, a few friends, and I are heading out to Vegas in a few days and was wondering if you or any of your listeners had any suggestions for things to see or do. I have already rented a Maserati to drive out to the Grand Canyon.
So you're douching it. Okay.
So I can have fun on the empty desert roads and obviously doing some gambling, but not much planned other than that. What would you guys do?
I'm not a Vegas-y guy, man.
I went once and it's not for me. I gotta tell you.
I liked it.
I mean, they have a lot of cool shows. I kind of wish I would have gone to some of those.
I just thought it was sad and gross when we went.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Do not ride the roller coaster on top of the New York hotel. It will break your shins.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I did the one that basically what is
the
that,
one
the
that
stratosphere?
makes it,
the
like,
stratosphere. Yeah.
It makes you think you're going to fall off the edge.
Oh, hell no.
On top of the stratosphere, there's the one that I call it the Dr. Doom. The one that like basically lifts you up and drops you. The old you sit in the seat and there's like a cylinder of seats and then it drops you. Dr. Doom.
It's just like Disney has one too. Tower of Terror.
Yeah. It's so I did that, and then there's another thing where you get on and basically it's just a track that goes over the edge of the stratosphere, probably like 15 feet, and then basically just stops. So it's like you go over and you're like, Dung! And then that's all it is, and brings you back. So that was fun. But why'd you rent a Maserati to go to the desert? Was it just because of the speed and like having fun driving in an open road? Like, don't you rent a Maserati to be seen and like so people can be impressed by it?
I think he's doing it for the speed.
I think poorly of people who rent cars to look cool.
Well, this is the
opposite.
opposite.
What about when you buy cars and then paint them?
That's a little different because
cool.
at least you own it. You know, but like if you're renting the car purely to make people think that you own that car, that's a little weird.
It's a posery, right?
I guess. I mean, but if it makes you happy, then I am trying to
you're
not.
yucking.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
But here's
I'm trying to weigh it out. So I am trying to point it out when I do it.
I understand that at least because you can end up hooking up with a chick who thinks you're rich.
Okay,
or like,
all right.
Or you know,
she'll find out quick though.
But I mean, if your goal isn't
one night stand.
Okay.
But the driving it just to drive in the desert, I feel like it's a straight line. It's not on a race course, so it's like you get to go fast, I guess, in a straight line for.
Pedal to the metal, baby.
I mean, maybe it's something as simple as, and I shouldn't have said, "Oh, you're douching it out." I was being inherently negative. Maybe he just wants to drive a really nice car. That I get. While we're out there, baby, we're splurging for the luxury vehicle versus the Kia. Okay, I get that. You want the fit and the finish. You want the cool toys that you don't get to drive it very. Yeah, I get that. That I can get. If you're doing it though because you want people to see you in it, that's weird.
Yeah. But I understand that more than.
So no Vegas suggestions?
Well,
Hey, what? It's really ridiculous.
I
why
would say
you're
just check
asking-
out the shows that are there because other than that, there's
I have
just
one.
gambling.
All the
Go see
Cirque du
Carrot
Soleil-
Top. It's very funny.
Yeah, Carrot Top, the Cirque du Soleil, any of the Cirque du Soleil shows.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Oh, and
if
then
it's in
that's-
Vegas, it's been vetted. It's the best of the
And
best.
then if you are, it's an adult only trip.
No, I think he said he was bringing some kids with him.
Yeah,
too.
I was going to say the only other suggestion I would say it was fun when that taxi lady took us to the all nude strip club that's
Never mind.
over.
It's his wife and a few friends.
You got to go over the border, and that was fun.
Oh yeah,
That was not the
That's
one
a
where we
good-
almost got killed. That was a different area altogether. But this one, it was like a really laid back, tiny little all nude strip club where you and I just had regular white label Budweisers, and it was great.
And also, guess who will know the best? Your Uber driver.
Yeah.
Like, that's all
That's
you have
what
to
we
ask.
did.
They asked some guys from Florida who've been to Vegas 2 times.
Yeah, we had that cool old lady, and she basically just took us everywhere.
Yeah.
She's like, "You guys
They
want to
know.
see some ladies?" We're like, "Yes, Grandma," and she just took us all over the place.
All right, let's
was
take
great.
a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Skyler from Trulieve about marijuana. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. And we have a very special guest on the line, and we love it when we get to talk to her. It is our friend Skyler from Trulieve. What's going on, Skyler? How you doing?
I'm good. I just got back from vacation. I'm feeling relaxed.
Hey,
I'm
all
ready to work.
Congratulations. Congratulations on all of that. And also congratulations on apparently you guys losing your mind because you're stuffing my email box and my texts with all of these crazy deals.
I know.
Yeah, you guys have gone nuts, man. Like every day I get a new thing where it's like, come during this, happy hour that, percentage off of this, use
Yeah,
these
yeah.
points, use that point. And I'm like, man, oh man.
If you're not following Trulieve
sign
social
up.
media,
Sign up.
yeah, because that's how to save the most money.
It will save you, dare I say, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
So sign up.
Yeah.
So Skyler, we've had, every time we talk to you, there's new openings going on. Have there been any since the last time we spoke with you?
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard, but Monday we announced the largest cannabis transaction. And so we acquired Harvest,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're located in Florida.
Yes.
But now I think that we now have 11 states total that will operate in and over 3.1 million square feet of cultivation and processing.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
cute little buy for you guys. My God, Skyler, that's insane. And and this isn't anything on Harvest or whatever, but a lot of people were really excited about this, at least the news that I read, because they were hoping that you guys could grab that and then bring them up to the Trulieve level, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep. So we purchased on Monday was when everything launched. We also had our earnings today, which 420 was included in that. So if you have a chance to go read about our earnings, I would highly recommend. But we are at, I want to say, 84 locations now just in Florida.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
That's nuts.
Now,
Yeah.
Now I'm not surprised because THC is really good, and then like
I
True.
vote yes.
yeah. And as far as a business, I would say it's going pretty well. Like you get to grow it from a seed, and then literally money. It's the best, and people will pay a lot of money for it. And Trulieve does a great job with all their products too. And that's the thing. There's other products out there, and I just prefer Trulieve. And speaking of products, are there any new stuff we should know about? I've really been enjoying all the gummies. I talked about it last time, but those
Now they got like puckers.
those
like
CBN gummies are great.
Yeah, we have sour ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have all like.
So we do have the sour gummies now, but I don't know if y'all have seen Bellows pods yet.
That is.
Have you seen anything about those?
Not only have I seen them, that's my number one thing. Yeah, because it's the.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the battery of that little device is so unique in the fact that when you draw it, it will vibrate to show you how to dose correctly, so you're not, because I think a lot of people get the misconception that you just get stony baloney, you walk around high. No.
Yeah.
If you're really using it correctly for anxiety and stress relief like I do, use the Bellows pod. It kind of tells you how to dose it correctly. And then as you do that, it'll vibrate, and then it will actually stop when it's done. Like, this thing is like smart. Are you guys still throwing in the battery if I buy 2 of the pods now, or?
I don't think right now, but we were doing that.
Yeah, mine was free. Like, I just bought one, and they're like, here, try the new battery. This is a new thing we want to try. But the flavor profiles are really interesting. There's a lot of cool hybrids that they have that I've been using. And, yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about Bellows. When did you guys get connected with those cats?
So that we've probably had, I would say, less than 2 or 3 months, right? It's very new. Maybe less than 6 weeks. I can't remember the exact date. I know that the reason why this is such a great new product is because people who, like, let's say who have ALS, MS, those sort of things, who are unable to hold down the button or screw in their vape cartridge, which the True Pods and True Sticks obviously are magnetic, but this is magnetic, and you don't have to push a button to draw. And like you said, it vibrates. So that gives you your dosing. Now, obviously, if you want to inhale more and use more products, you can. It's not going to stop you. But that is so that you don't have to do like a long 15-second draw, right? So it doses it out exactly for you so you know how much you're bringing in.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
And for those people that don't partake into THC, what I think maybe that you're an amateur into it, or like, I think the misconception is like you try to, get as much as possible. But the problem is over a long period of time, your body will start becoming used to it, and therefore you will need more. So then it's like, why waste the money if you dose yourself properly? Then you can, for a longer time, enjoy that same amount. Because if you take more than you need, then you're going to always need more.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, and I'm talking about, like, if this is a long-term plan and you enjoy this, you're doing a disservice if you just try to take as much as possible, because
that's not correct.
6 or 7 months down the line, you're going to have to buy so much or consume so much to get you.
And it may not even do anything. There are many people I know, it's almost like when you're smoking a pork butt. The thing can only hold so much smoke flavor. You know what I mean? There's a truth to that. So it's almost like if you use it correctly, and I know we play around and joke, but no, if you use it correctly, like I microdose it with the Bellows pen because of the vibration, the fact that it is so active and it's magnetic, and it's also very small. It's a very small device.
Yeah,
it's about half the size of a 510, or I think that's what those are. But it's very, very small. So you can microdose a little bit for like an anxiety attack, or like if you're stressed out. It doesn't take more than just and then you're done.
Yeah, and we should talk about that, Skyler, too, because I literally had a conversation with a buddy of mine, and he was on text. He doesn't have his license yet, because he's old school, and I'm sure you've talked to a lot of people like this, and he's been doing the same thing, and he's got a buddy and whatever, and he's been doing that. He's like, well, why do I need to get the license, whatever? But he's suffering with bad anxiety, right? So, and he's trying to basically, because THC can help anxiety, especially CBD, and that's what I was trying to explain to him. And he's trying to figure out how to help or make his THC work for him. And I'm like, man, you're going to struggle with this because you have no idea the dosing. You don't know the strand you're getting. You don't know any, you don't know where it's coming from. As far, not that it could be harmful, but I'm just saying it's impossible to dose yourself right.
And they give you all the knowledge in your bag. Like if you have your card, you have your recommendation, and you leave there with the Bellows pot, they wouldn't let, oh, by the way, this is good for you to know, Skyler. When I left there, they stuck the Bellows in there, and then they gave me a ton of stuff on how to use it. They did their job. They put all these little papers, little flyers. I'm like, this is how you do it. This is what you need.
And it can be more accurate than like, hey, smoke one joint if you're feeling anxious. It's not about that. No. It's like, hey, you may have this high CBD capsule or CBN. There's tons of different products, different strengths of CBD, and like you can fine tune it down to a point where it's perfect for you.
Like
and
ratio.
You cannot do that.
I like a lot of the ratio ones because it's a balance between your THC heavy and your CBD.
Well, then you could could actually get it to the point where you're properly medicating yourself to solve the problem that you want. And that's the problem with not having your card and not going to Trulieve and not getting the specific dose that you need or the percentage CBD that you need.
Well, and another thing too is like if he's buying, I don't know, right? But like if he's buying from his neighbor, right? He can't buy cannabis and then be like, "Yo, I don't like this, so like I need to return it."
Right.
Like this isn't working for me, or this is giving me anxiety, or whatever. But once you have your card, you can come back and purchase. Let's say if you purchase one of the bellows and you're using it for anxiety, but for some reason it triggers your anxiety, which is fine because everyone's different. You really have to figure out what products are going to work best for what you need help with.
100%.
And you can take it back, right? So you can go back in there and say, hey, I really don't like how this works. Like, what is something else you can recommend for me, or can I try something else? And you do it at no charge. And I think that is the biggest thing. And
and you can do it with big items. Like
you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you buy a hybrid like a True Pod. I mean, that's a pretty high. That's an expensive item, you know. But you know, you go back in there, and I brought it back. That's the blue one, and I go back in there, and I'm like, look, I am an anxiety man. I cannot ride the sativas or even a hint of that. Can't do it. And they were like, well, let me steer you in a better direction. Have you tried this one? And I was like, I have not. They were like, well, I want to stay away from this one because of what you said. I already had a couple people say that this one might trigger that. Let's try this. That's how it's just like any other medication.
Yeah, and I should mention, I just got my recommendation re-upped.
You did.
And they still have telemedicine going on, and it literally was the doctor, and they do it over the weekends too. This is on Mother's Day. At 11 a.m.
Thoughtful son. What a thoughtful son. Got himself a medical marijuana recommendation.
And they called me telemedicine, and there was something wrong, of course, with my
well, that's just you.
FaceTime. But the guy's like, I just do it over the phone, and then they did it very easily, and then that's, you know, it's very easy nowadays, and they make it easy for you. And I believe they've gotten the cards approved. I mean, they're lightning fast now. It's like if you want to just get your card, I think I saw same day advertised in a couple different places. I don't know if that's true.
There are some places that do that. And again, Tracy brought up a good point too, and I've done this as well. If you have a battery that you purchase through Trulieve and it starts to act wonky, same thing. You just walk in, tell them this battery is not working right, and they will swap you out a battery. Like, they're very, 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 very sweet to you. So
it's totally worth the cost of the card and the recommendation.
And for the peace of mind of not doing something you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? I got kids. I got a wife.
Yeah, because if you get pulled over, like,
tighten up.
They won't do anything to you if you have your cannabis card, right? So, and honestly, like, a lot of law enforcement I've spoken to in, like, the past few weeks, like, their arrests for cannabis specifically have gone down substantially. I mean, like, there's a group actually in Orlando, I won't say which law enforcement agency it is, but they're like, we're not even really worried about cannabis anymore, like, because it's so legal now. Like,
probably the Orlando Guardian Angels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you have pounds of weed in your car, you know, that's, you're probably selling it, but, you know, you have a couple vape carts on you, like, they're not worried about that.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way everything's going, and eventually, I can't imagine we don't get to recreational sometime. I mean,
I know.
It smells like it, right? I mean, if you walk outside, I mean that literally. If you walk outside right now, it smells as if Florida is recreational.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've been riding my scooter everywhere, Skyler, and apparently people like Trulieve. So.
Well, Skyler, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. Also, if you guys want to get your card, just go on Trulieve's website.
Yeah. All the literature there for anything you might need to know, you can find out there. They have a FAQ area where you can kind of dig in and see. And then, if you want to email us, show@tomandan.com, I'll point you in the right direction. I mean,
I'll point you to Trulieve's website.
Yeah, that's probably what
Go to get your card on the top, and then follow the instructions.
Some of them are kind of dumb. You know?
I know, but it's it. They spell it out for you.
It's hard to spell. Trulieve's a little difficult.
All right, Skyler, we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
See ya. It's always fun talking to her.
Yeah. It's
I like that little bellows pod. It's very the thing I would say, because I had a couple people in the chat room even asking me like, "Whoa, what's it like? What's it like?" I just think it doses more accurately. That's the main thing I would say. If you're not looking to get like to the moon black, yeah, look, everything's got its, you go out party, sometimes you'll have 25 drinks, right? Sometimes you just want one drink. But if you're just looking to actually use it as medication.
Yeah. That's a good analogy, because if you just did the analogy for booze, right? Imagine, like, everybody knows how to dose booze. They usually do it by shot or by beer or drink or whatever. It's like,
and you know your limit.
I don't know if they know.
Well, no, I mean,
if you were at the land cruise.
But those people are already abusing it. Like, if you've already gone into it with the mindset of I'm abusing this, then you're not who I'm talking to. You know
yes,
what I mean?
But what I mean is that I think by this point in time,
if you want to manage a cool buzz,
everybody's under the understanding of like, hey, do you want some drinks? People are like, all right, 14 shots.
Right.
Because they know what 14 shots will do to them.
That's dumb.
And they're like, I cannot do 14 shots in a row. Now, eventually that will happen over time, and then I've done it, everybody's done it. But what I'm saying is they understand dosing with alcohol, and the medical marijuana is so new here. I don't think anybody, well, there's some people that's done it for a long time, but it's like you don't understand, all right, what is one draw and how long? Like 3 Mississippi draw for my pen, like, and it's going to affect everybody different, just like alcohol. Oh, yeah. But I feel like people will do the 17 shots
don't do that.
Of the marijuana.
Don't do that.
Because they just don't understand, or they're trying to catch up. They're like, it's not hitting me. Or they
don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Don't chase it.
And then
give it a beat.
Then you get anxiety.
No,
and
then you're
like,
a gambler. You know all about that when you're trying to chase that money you already lost. Don't do that. And you're like, I don't feel that. I'm like, next thing you know,
overdose.
17 shot.
Well,
yeah. You can't. Nothing will happen to you. Besides
probably have a panic attack.
Panic attack. But other than that, it's like with the alcohol, it's like you use 17 shot, you're vomiting.
Oh, it's
vomiting.
Oh,
like you're not gonna have.
I can tell you the first time I knew I got overly marijuana'd, I just fell asleep.
Dude, you know what happens?
Right to sleep like a little baby.
Every single time I talk to someone who doesn't partake in marijuana, they've had a bad experience, and it's always this story. The last time I smoked weed, throwing up, and then I'm like, did you do it after you were blacked out drunk, or like you were drunk? They're like, yes, I did.
Yeah, it was the end of the night joint, and your buddy says, hey, let's share this joint, and you're already hammered.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's why you felt so horrible.
Don't mix it.
And then, so that's your lasting memory of marijuana but that's not the marijuana that made you feel that way. That was the marijuana making you feel the extreme amount of alcohol you drank. Right?
Yeah.
Which is, since I've been using THC, I drink less, because you know why? If you get high before you drink, you feel every drink way more, right? So one White Claw makes it feel like 2.5 White Claw or whatever. So you could have one, and it seems like you had 3 because it intensifies the effects of the alcohol.
That's where you and I are different. I can drink 6 White Claws, toot, 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 stone sober, let's do it again. 6 White Claws, toot, toot, toot. Kind of buzz. Let's do it again. 6 White Claws. Toot, toot, toot. Pass out White Claws 911. No, I wasn't. No, I was not.
No. But
I was sober.
Yes, you could.
I will tell that story tomorrow, by the way.
You could push past it, and
no, I try not to though, because it is a bad feeling. It is a very, very bad feeling.
But it's always the.
I certainly prefer the marijuana to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna,
just on the weekdays, weekends.
Yeah, like
every day.
Mornings. Like for marijuana, it's more
morning's
like
the best,
a morning, midday.
Yeah.
And then for the evenings, it's drinks, and then marijuana back around.
Nothing better. You walk out and it's the mountains, right? And you're in a cabin.
I did this.
In North
Hey,
Carolina.
we're gonna be doing this.
Oh,
at the end of the
Colorado.
month.
I was doing the Colorado. I was doing it at your place.
You wake up before your family. Like it's the sunrise. Like basically the sun is barely creeping over the tall pine trees. And then you make yourself a huge cup of coffee, right? And you take I prefer 2 Trulieve 10 milligrams, so the 20 milligram sativa.
Stepped it up.
Look at this guy.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're on vacation.
We got a regular Steve-O over here.
No,
Get this guy in a
this is 20 milligrams.
Oh, my God, man.
And
20 milligrams. Before he used to be lightweight Larry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, you're on vacation, you're in the mountains.
Live a little, yeah.
And then, oh, man, you start thinking of all the business ideas.
That's when we start getting text messages that make no sense.
The skywriting.
That's where skywriting comes in.
You're sitting there,
email
you're
myself
looking into
skywriting.
the woods. Skywriting.
Genius.
You want to go back to emails? Before Skyler called, we were knee deep in emails.
Okay, this one says, bowling is open, baby.
Is this from Tactical?
It is. It says, I have to give Normal Chungus credit for throwing a straight fire at the Oviedo bowling alley this weekend.
These guys are having parties?
Getting in the high score over Hat, Homeless Joe, and the Silvas. Bowling is definitely open and good for them for being packed on a Saturday night. All the balls are sanitized between groups too and distanced naturally. When is the last time you guys went? It's been a long time since I've gone bowling.
Corona from bowling balls.
I wanted to go.
Stupid.
I did not get the invite. I may have gone.
I think I want to say
pain
to
pills.
people like, hey man, Corona's nothing to mess with. I got Corona from bowling.
Well, you're going to get it from your buddies spitting in your face, not from the bowling ball.
Well, I pick up
I
each
went
bowling ball
bowling
and I blow in each finger hole.
I went bowling like 6 months ago.
Really?
They were been open for a while.
Well, you're in a league.
Florida.
You're the Fred Flintstone of Orlando. You're like right? Me and you, do you realize that we do look like Fred and Barney, right?
Bowling is say you're with your own group, and the next lane is 10 feet away from you. You're
Yeah,
fine.
but you got to pick your ball out of like the whole place.
Is this hot take
Yeah, but you're not
Mondays? What is this?
But you're not getting Corona
What if
from
somebody
surfaces.
coughed all over
Is this
it?
hot take
No, no.
Mondays or what?
They said
Yeah.
that you're not getting Corona from
Bowling
surfaces.
sucks unless you have your own lane in your home. Let's just be real.
I never
It's
liked
fun
bowling.
every once in a while.
It used to be fun when
I
I was
never liked
younger,
it.
but let's put the pieces together, folks. Everything's fun when you're younger.
Yeah. Leaving your a stick.
Yeah.
A stick is fun when you're younger.
Yeah.
Water balloons.
Mouse
like,
bro.
Anything. Like my daughter will run outside and find like a ladybug lands on her hand, and she's like,
yeah.
because she's a simple human.
Yeah, we're all jaded now.
No,
Yeah,
we know reality, and we know that
Yeah.
bowling
Yeah,
is
it's
not
terrible.
fun. Bowling is not fun unless you're rich and you have a bowling lane and you invite people over to bowl in your lane, and the only reason you do that is to let them know that you have a bowling lane and they don't.
Yeah. And then you're there will be blood to bastard a basket and you're stomping that guy's head.
I do love a good bastard in a basket.
That happened in bowling alley. There will
We
be
should
blood.
come up with a sandwich somewhere in this town that's called Tom and Dan's Bastard in a Basket, and it's a sandwich. And we should theme it. And we should put that with skywriting. We should theme it
There will be
around
blood.
There Will Be Blood. It's a
Yeah,
There
yeah.
Will Be Blood. It's a rare sandwich, a rare meat sandwich. It's the There Will Be Blood. It's called
and the basket is shaped, but it's
It's
made
the
out of-
bread. It's
made
a
out of-
bread basket.
No, but it's made out of wicker, and it looks like an old school oil rig. It's bad. There's a big pork sandwich. Where's it be in there?
Just a bastard in a basket! Just a bastard in a basket! I love that part. I want that to be the ringtone when my daughter calls me.
I don't know why that I'm like, I wish that guy was my dad. I don't know why. That's
Because
weird.
nobody said that, and you felt bad for him. You felt bad for him. You're like, nobody's ever said that.
He's
to
a
that guy.
horrible dad. He's a horrible person.
He's a horrible
That guy's
person,
a horrible
not just dad.
Yeah.
Very bad person.
yeah. Like everything.
He's getting baptized. Why
I
are you
feel
getting
bad for him.
baptized? Are you trying
He
to
just
trick
wants
them?
money.
You
He
just want their money.
He just wants money. Nothing else. Doesn't care about anybody, even his own son. It's horrible.
It is horrible.
Anyway, sorry.
Next email.
This says, Villages Tom here. Please take a look at this. I love the Weird Job Wednesday with the cruise director, Mark. We have had him on as our cruise director on at least 3 cruises.
See, people know this guy.
Yeah, they do. When Tom asked him if all the muster drills and lifeboats were still necessary, I was shocked when he said the biggest concern on a cruise ship is a kid pooping in the pool. I kept yelling, Costa Concordia. Seriously, 92 years after the Titanic, the lifeboat scene is almost identical. It's funny how all cruise ships basically look the same. You could have told me that was a Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, or Carnival ship. Anyway, they still sink from time to time. Even with all of the modern technology, human error will always come into play.
Hold on. What's the Costa Concordia?
Is that the one that was in Greece? That
Costa Kimlet. He's the magician. The hell are you talking about?
Or are you talking about the one that
It's very disrespectful.
the captain was trying to wave at his girlfriend and went too close to the... is that the one?
Possibly.
Is that the Costa
Because
Concordia?
it did puncture the hull and people died and drowned in their rooms and stuff. It was horrible, but it didn't sink like the Titanic where they had to, grab whatever
it
floating.
ran aground, capsized and later sank in shallow waters after striking an underwater rock.
Yeah,
Well, we knew that happened, but I don't put that ship, no offense, but I don't put that same ship in the category of like a North American Caribbean boat. I know that vessels still sink. We never were saying that we don't believe in vessels sinking.
It sank very slow. Now there again, I preface this by saying I know
people died.
People died in the
thing,
but it didn't die like Titanic style. They died because they punctured the hole and
he was trying to impress his girlfriend. He was being reckless.
But everybody got off. You could have though jumped off.
Not everybody.
No, I'm saying you could have jumped off and swam to the shore like it was next to the cliff.
Hey, you know, that's a.
It's not in the middle of the.
This sounds
Atlantic.
a lot like victim blaming here.
No. I'm just saying we were
just jumped off.
I know what you're saying.
Okay,
there's a big difference in being in open waters, it sinks and everybody drowns, and then this guy's being reckless. He's trying to wave at his girlfriend, wrecks the boat, and some people died because of him being reckless.
Yes,
there is a difference.
And also, you had to. Yes, they did get everybody in lifeboats, and then you got off of the lifeboats, but. For whatever reason, in my mind, is different because the land you're not in the middle of the ocean with you can't see land. Yes,
man, that was 9 years ago.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Also, the only
why do we give genders to ships?
Like, there's a lot of ships, and then that one thing happened.
Maybe old, your. What do you call that? Like superstition, maybe?
Maybe.
They make them ladies, right?
Look up passenger cruise ship sinks.
Passenger?
Besides from that one.
There's a documentary, and I think it's a documentary about this particular boat that they're just putting out.
Yeah.
Because we did have cameras then, and things were filmed, so you could get like footage of certain things like that happening.
Well, it's as rare as a plane crash. How many people listen to the instructions of the flight attendant when she's telling you what to do during the event of a plane crash?
Was he knocking Mark for saying poo-poo in the pool? Because I thought that was a joke. He knew it's fire. Everybody knows it's fire.
Yeah, but I was saying the lifeboat.
Poo-poo in the pool probably happens more often.
Right,
it happens every single cruise.
That was a cruise director joke. That guy didn't get the joke. That was a joke.
But Mark's being correct in the fact that it's so rare that it's never going to happen.
Well, around here, I mean, what's the furthest you get off the coast here?
I mean,
or coast of any land, because you're always in some sort of like very, very close proximity to either other vessels or land around here.
But
this isn't transatlantic or anything.
But even that, it's like it's as rare as a plane crash. Like, who's preparing for a plane crash? It's never going to happen. You know?
Remember the first.
It does happen, but that's why
the first
statistic.
The first cruise I went on, I was 12, and I remember being a little scared. Because it was new. You know, I remember being like, whoa, this is weird. You know, I remember like, this is very odd to me. Like, what if something does happen? And then as you go on a couple more and you don't even think about it, right?
Yeah.
At least I don't. I mean,
nothing's going to happen. It's
just like it's a building
now,
laying on the side.
There has been, like, they do break down every once in a while, or like Corona, and then all of a sudden you're like, that's more like
everybody gets a case of the trots.
Well, I'd be more for that is more likely some sort of pandemic happening, and then you just so happen to be on a cruise, and then it's going on around the world, and you're like, oh no, like that happened, and that happened to multiple cruise ships.
This is interesting. So I'm reading this article trying to figure out your answer here. And it says, no one is systemically collecting data of collisions, fires, evacuations, groundings, and sinkings, said Jim Walker, a maritime lawyer in Miami who has attended more than half a dozen congressional hearings about cruise ship crime and passenger safety. So they don't like really even keep track of a lot of this.
Well, it's because it's international. A lot of these companies are in different
right. I mean, blending
countries.
all of that.
This goes all the way to the top, baby.
That would be a very difficult way to blend all laws and regulations and things that happen.
But besides from that cruise ship, I remember that one, the guy waving and running aground. Like, do you guys even remember a news story of like passengers being lifted down on lifeboats and escaping a sinking cruise ship?
I remember the one that was. The only one I remember in recent times is the one where the stabilizer broke and it was just running loose.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even a big deal, but it just made it feel weird, and they just needed to get it to port.
And there was sideways,
it listed because one of the stabilizers like broke or something. But I don't think it was like a big deal.
Then there was like a fire in one, and then it was broken down and it was stuck in the Gulf.
And then we had that one guy that went on one of our cruises who poo-pooed his entire room.
Yeah, well, that happens every cruise.
Yeah.
The poo-poo. But then there's one
I don't know why
where
people do that.
the plumbing broke. That was one.
Yeah.
But
Well, that was Butler.
But you're never getting on a lifeboat and
No.
paddling away.
You ever
or
look at those or like bang on them or?
Yeah, they're gigantic.
Yeah, they're huge.
And they got motors and they'll go for a while. And
Is there a gun in each one of those?
Flare gun.
Flare gun? Yeah.
No, I want a real gun.
No.
I think
Every
they're
cruise ship
firearms.
I've been on, I crawl through all of the the lifeboats looking for guns.
For sure, people go in there and try to bang and stuff, right? Like, and you'll be kicked off.
Yeah,
for sure. But there's also cameras everywhere now. Like,
In each lifeboat. Hard to bang in those lifeboats.
I don't think you could sneak into a lifeboat without being caught. Like,
No, they found me on my balcony. I was trying to hide out from a muster drill, and they have cameras all down the sides.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you look down your balcony and you lean out, you'll see. You'll see these white poles that come out and on the
They
ends
have
of these.
to because some people go overboard.
Yeah, and then they shoot back here, and then I'm out there, having a lefty, and they're like, they send somebody to my room to get me.
I think there's actually some sort of alarm, like a laser alarm, that detects if someone.
alarm.
No, there's some.
This sounds like a Butler story.
There's some
You've been hanging out with
sort
Butler too much.
of like alarm system that they have to try to detect someone falling off.
It's a water breach mesh, is what it's called.
Is that true?
No, I meant that.
Okay.
It's pretty good, right? I did that fast. Water breach mesh.
There you go.
I took
Something.
my idea of
I like laser alarm.
laser alarm is good.
They have laser alarms.
I think he's right. I think I've heard of the laser alarm.
If you break the beam of the laser.
Melt the beams.
No, you think I'm making fun of you, and I'm not. I'm just trying to continue the uncomfortability of Samantha rolling her eyes at laser alarm.
There's a laser alarm. There's something.
Up.
Bye-bye.